Hello everyone and welcome back to the Elbow Inn where we play TTRPGs and have a hoot. We are here today with the Hand in their adventures of Iridai in Nathriel. Chronicles of Nathriel. There we go, there's the full title name. Before we hop into this wonderful adventure, we are sponsored and Peter's taking the read today.
Yay.
Yay. Have fun. Thank you.
Need guidance on life, auto or homeowners insurance. Contact Kate, old woman, State Farm for all your insurance needs. Rates can be more affordable than you think. And protecting what matters most to you is important. Call Ben at 719-539-6265 and he'll set you up with what you need. That's 719-539-6265. Thanks, State Farm.
Thank you so much, K-Woman, for sponsoring us. Things like that happen because of it. That is spectacular. Oh my goodness, wow. Oh, that definitely needs to get clipped. I'm gonna have to make sure that happens. Thank you. Wow, yeah. Check out Stay Farm. Thank you so much for sponsoring us, K-Woman. You're delightful people. The little news and bits on Tuesday. The shenanigans in Pal World is continuing. We are going to continue making friends and eating them. It's a delight so far. And a very, very, yeah, it's just a lot of fun. So come on by for your pallial time. That's at 8 p.m. MT and on Tuesday. As for anything else, that's it for this week. The Fate Core miniseries came to its climactic. I wanted to say other words, but they were all wrong. Its climactic end yesterday on the fourth part of it in the finale. Had a little giveaway, 2 people won some books. It was fun. It was so much fun. I'm gonna miss it already. As far as everything else, it's not Thursday's week. That's gonna be next week. So that's a little bit I don't really have to say is, and I think I didn't set up the videos correctly entirely. Stitches in 2 places right now. That's okay. That's fine. It happens. And of course this did not grab what it's supposed to. Merch! Go get our merch, everyone. We have so many little shirts with fun designs on them. Another one is going to be added soon. We're just going through the final checks on it. And it's a hoot and a half, I tell you what. So much fun.
Instant purchase.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be a click and mine. So yeah, go check that out. Also, join our Discord. Like, subscribe, VOD Squad. Leave a comment. Say hi. Do things like that. And, make mockery of the fact that I failed at getting the cameras on this screen in the right place. Schnozboop is in the right place. But apparently I'm Altian. Ethan is the NPC person. Tangerine's actually the lawkeeper right now. And Stitch is Big Tin and Teffy at the same time.
Power, Tangerine.
I feel so empowered. Are you guys ready for a fun?
So empowered that
right
they're
yeah.
internet
fun
is
session
shaking.
where I'm in charge.
The power is disrupting her internet. It is so intense. And it's also the reason why her camera keeps glitching.
Flickering.
She just exudes radiation. Should be glowing blue.
It's from all the uranium that I eat.
This makes sense. Right. Everyone listen for
You
the
should
pop.
definitely do it.
Okay, we're fine. It's okay.
Hmm?
What? We should roll that intro.
Anyway.
Hey. The pop, yeah, I'll explain later. Anyway, are we ready and capable of going? Shall we? Shall we intro?
Let's make some friends.
Let's make some friends.
Do it.
It is open, my friends. Battles have yet to begin. Laughter will be heard in gales and floods. If not, at least there will be blood. The sorrow and loss may abound. We'll do our best to hold this hallowed ground.
Timing is getting so good with that. Hi everyone, welcome back. Last week on Chronicles of Nathriel, Era Diversion, we had some revelations come up with them arriving in Crodpolis to pick up Teffy, learning about a memory plague that was going around. Nothing like they were used to, not biological, but one of the mind that was passed through means of conversation. A little digging and a little questioning deeper in, they started picking up on some peculiarities to the answers from Doctor and Cinder. After getting only a couple, some vague ideas of what was going on, they started off to Zonio with the decision to travel to the archipelago to help Doctor find the source of where this memory loss was coming from. More answers started coming as they questioned Cinder along the way, and eventually they uttered the brief phrases good enough to get the general to come by, and more confusing clarification revealed. They'd walked into something with primordials. They have a basic amount of information regarding what's been going on for them, but still they were left with that. I almost said left with answers, but they were loose, is what we could call them, if anything. Left with more confusion as they continued to try to figure out why, maybe if anything. I don't know how to recap last week. It was all over the place. You ran into primordials, you're on a journey. Here we go. Let's cover it again, because you're going to have to tell Lieutenant Eulandria what's going on. Because she saw right through the lie of we're looking for the bees. I think you're muted. You're muted.
I am muted, but it was not technically a lie.
No, it wasn't, but it was also technically a lie.
It was a
Penny was
large
a big-
omission of the truth.
Large omission of the truth. Anyways, we left them off in Zonio, where they met with Julian, told him about it, confused him as well, and made the agreement for the Andrean ship to take them into the archipelago. Now, the lieutenant and the first mate have left. You're back still in the study. Actually, this background is a little premature, isn't it? Let's do this one. There we go. You are back inside that study of his, and he is looking at you, Altian. You said you needed to speak to Luce before you left. I do have a way of doing that. I can get you inside the same dream as her. You have to be asleep for it. I can also get a few other people in there if you'd like others to join.
Do you have any other way?
Not this quickly, no.
Fine. Just me.
Very well.
You sure don't want me in there to be a chaperone or some such for you, old team buddy?
No.
All right, fair enough.
All right, well, I guess we leave to go do that. Or does he want me to just lay down right here?
No, he'll need to make his preparations, get in touch with her himself, let her know what needs to be done on her end. But you have the rest of the day, which it's just afternoon at this point. You made the agreement that you won't be leaving until tomorrow morning, very early in the morning. Is there anything you'd all like to do? There's accommodations for you, so you don't need to find where to stay.
Definitely go get supplies.
Okie dokie.
Question:
Answer.
were we prepaid for that tree thing?
You were not. You would be handed, I believe it would be 7,000 for that one. 5,000 for the deal and then 2,000 on top with Julian because of what he did. It's out for it. And that's each.
7K gold
Yes.
riches.
7k gold riches.
We'll just add that.
Aberrations are a little naive in the dealings of income. So we kind of
Oh,
ripped
so
them
we
off
all
a little
got-
bit. Yeah, you all got that much.
Okay. Good
They
Lord.
see it as highly
Roman.
important. Julian knew they saw it as highly important, so he made them pay for it.
Does Teffy get money even though she was not involved in that situation?
You are a member of the Hand, you do.
Damn.
Welcome to riches.
Very much so. Get that
Is-
shmoney.
Is there a tweeter shop here?
No, not here. This place, while you're wandering around looking for storefronts, you can find some locations that used to be stores, but have closed up at this point. The owners having moved away. You know what? I'm gonna roll dice.
You've heard this before, but it needs to be said. I would like to find small denomination diamonds to buy, if possible.
Yeah, okay. So you can find 2 storefronts that are still open up.
Okay, great.
The rest of them are all closed down. The accommodations either being commandeered for military use or just boarded up.
And the 2 shops are?
And the 2 shops are... Tears of Heaven looks to be... It has a little scent and aroma of incense coming from the inside of it. Another one... Let me describe actually the window areas of it. It's more of... When you glance in, appears to be more of a tinker shop with little shelves of different doohickeys and devices that have tags of how much they cost. At the walkway display cases with more higher ticket items. Kind of like your general store inside your standard like Skyrim-like game. And the other one is very similar, but more focused on books and spell scrolls. This one is Tear My Pages. And it's right next to the first one.
Wait, which one's Tears of Heaven?
Tears of Heaven's the first one. Right next to it is Tear
Oh.
My Pages.
I'll go into the first one then to look for said diamonds.
The first one, just on the inside, there's what looks to be tufts of fur around the sides, like sideburns that have grown out. He's got redder skin, very lobsterisk in fashions, and big pointed red ears. His nose is a little pushed out, and forward facial features are semi-snoutish, but snubbed, heavily snubbed. And he's got long braided black hair coming out of his skull. He looks up from the book he's reading, takes the spectacles off, and... Hello, what might I be helping you with today?
Well, hello there. I'm Snozboob, and you are?
I'm... Oh, good heavens, I don't have a name for this person. I'm Lively.
What race is Lively?
He looks to be hobgoblin, mostly.
Okay. Very good. Well, Lively, pleasure to meet you. I am in the market for some small denomination diamonds. Is that something that you could potentially help me with?
I'm sorry, no. Diamonds and things used for the regenerational spells have all been commandeered by in the military. They've all been purchased already. You know you are on the front line of war, yes?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
If there would be any, it would be with probably your quartermasters. But it would be with the military. I don't know if they would be letting any of that go.
Interesting. Well, thank you for your assistance, Lively. You have a wonderful day.
Yeah, well,
Nice to
thank
see
you. There are various little items on there. What are you kind of looking for?
I'm always looking for myself.
Always looking for yourself. Give me percentile dice. Ooh.
46.
46. After a quick walk around inside the storefront, while Schnorzbeak's having this conversation with Lively, you don't sense anything of yourself in here. You see a few little trinkets of old design, most of which you can identify as having been a piece of this and a part of that. None of them fully functioning.
That's all I'm looking for.
I'm going to look for some sort of rope, like a good length of rope.
You find a bundle. It seems to be all tangled up and maybe about 50 feet if it was untangled. Looks good,
Okay.
good quality.
Cool. Then I will. I would like to acquire that, but I will also keep looking for any sort of trinkets, magical in nature. Seemingly not that useful, but entertaining nevertheless.
Entertaining nevertheless. Okay.
Such as, perhaps, a spoon.
I will never make that mistake again. Okay, so picking up this tangled mess of rope and looking around again, give me a percentile dice.
Ooh,
Ooh.
hardly ever use these bad boys.
Remember when that giant just beat the tar
Obliterated.
out of that other thing with the giant spoon?
39.
Spoon.
39.
And when we gave it to Brolog to dig through the rubble in that underground
Right.
tunnel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
good item.
39. While walking around, you see first a device that seems to have some gears to where you can twist both sides. I'm trying to think of the right verbiage to make the most sense. Twist both sides to have it click and interlock with itself correctly. There's a finger line that is misaligned at first, but when you twist it, the finger line clicks into space. And just inside the tag, it lists as 5,000 gold torch.
Meanwhile, it's actually the lament configuration from Hellraiser.
So, Teffy is going to pick up that item and approach the register and ask the shopkeep to elaborate on why this torch is so expensive.
Oh, yeah, torch, it illuminates. It brings light, even through darkness. And if focused on person, it is very painful. Focused light pierces magical darkness, and also blisters and burns thing it focuses on.
Okay, so just table talk wise, this is essentially some sort of laser.
Basically, not quite laser-like super duper laser. It's more of a extremely high lumens torch that has a magical burning to it as well because it's unstable. It is one of the devices that BT would have looked at and said broken.
Effie will look at it, and instead of broken, she will say, "Well, isn't that fascinating? I'll take that then as well as the rope." And she'll leave those items on the counter while she continues to peruse. See if there's anything else that catches her fancy.
Miss, you want normal rope or magic rope?
Well, that depends. What sort of magic ropes have you got then?
Just this one.
This one's magic? How so?
It clicks twice and it untangles itself and wraps up neatly. It rope of no ties and no knots, I guess. You tie it off and click twice, it will always wrap itself up next to you. Even if knot is 50 feet up.
Oh, I like that a lot. Yes, I think I'll be taking that as well then.
Okay.
So, magical rope and a sunburn torch. Nice.
Sunburn torch. That's a good name for it, actually. It also pierces magical darkness, the torch, by the way. So, you know
Yes.
that big old ball of magic darkness that no one can see through? It pierces through it.
Aha! Very good.
Yeah. Those are the two items that you would have had your eyes captured by. That's how we're doing shopping episodes with just a random little roll. Unless you have anything specific.
You know what ingredients I'm looking for, so I don't know if they'd be around here, or if I'd have to go to some sort of military area to purchase them.
Also need to be going to the military area. All of those would also have been acquisitioned by the quartermasters. Anything of major use for like heavy spell components, like gemstones especially, are being acquisitioned in most places because of the ongoing war with the Nork Empire and the fact that the majority of gemstones near Adai were acquired from the mountains in the Nork Empire. So there's been little to no mining for renewal of those gemstones. So diamonds, period, are pretty hard to find. You're actually probably going to have a better chance finding diamonds going to the archipelago or to a different continent.
All right, well, I'm going to
In
see
that
if I
case-
can purchase some items.
Pittance?
Teffy is going to see if there's perhaps a crowbar or a pickaxe that she can take with her. Maybe a small shovel.
Crowbar, pickaxe, small shovel. You know, like
Yes.
some basic adventuring gear stuff. Yeah, okay. You
Yes.
can find those easy peasy.
Okay.
With everything you've got, Taffy, if Ultian and Schnosboop are planning on going to the military quartermasters to see if they can acquisition some stuff there, your total, it was 5,004. That would be 5,500 gold and 2 copper for the basic tools.
Wonderful. Teffy will pay the price in full.
Schnosboop, if you'd like to give me a perception check to see if you're noticing Teffy paying in full without doing any form of haggling, you can,
I didn't see.
You didn't see? Okay.
Apparently not. Rolled a 2.
Oh, boy. Oh, yeah. Yep, Teffy, you pay the amount in full.
Cool.
Cool.
Feel a disturbance in the force.
Someone paid too much money. No, I think I'll save that for another point in time. That'll be interesting. Okay, so military location next. Quartermaster's station. There are a few with little questioning. The one that would have the supplies that the two of you are looking for would be on the third tree inside. So you have to travel a little further in. It's getting closer to dinner time at this point in the day. But you get there and there's a man with what looks to be a 5 o'clock shadow. He's got a couple of scars on his face, is maybe older in age, but not ancient. He's currently scribbling on a piece of paper and looks up as you all approach. Yeah, you're not Oh, guild. What guild are you part of and what do you want?
Oh, the Three Watchers. A very useful guild. But we were about to embark on a mission of great import and secrecy, and we were hoping to acquisition some equipment that we're, of course, happy to pay for.
Okay. State the woe. His eyes reach up and sees Big Tin for a moment. State the business. What are you looking for?
Ultian, why don't you start?
Is that a... Wow.
Characteristically, I just pull out a list. It's on a dingy piece of paper now that's
They're
been
like
crumpled
business
up a little
cards.
bit. Yeah, pretty much.
You've got like just a pad of them with the list written off so you can tear it off in hand. Judging from the list, I know what you're getting at. Do you mind substitutes?
Depending on what you mean by substitutes.
Well, we don't get very much sulfur over on this side, but I can substitute it with a moss that has the same effect once dried. It'll actually be cheaper. A little process on your end though, but you gotta dry it correctly.
Okay, tell me how.
I'll write up a list of instructions for you, but I'll also show you. I can't sell it to you for profit or for any lower. So you're probably all used to haggling and negotiations, but the prices for quartermastering is set. I can't negotiate with you.
Good to know. Good to know. Thank you for that. Appreciate you.
Well, I don't always tell everyone that. Usually I just like to watch them try to play their game and see them fail, but I like to stay on the kind end of that. He points at BT in the background.
Good plan, good plan. Big Tin is a useful a friend.
Yeah. I don't want to know what the other way is. Like, starts getting some supplies. And he'll show you how to dry this stuff. Teffy, this moss actually is something you would be familiar with. As soon as he brings it out, you would immediately recognize it as a form. I don't have a name for it. You can give it a name if you'd like. But it's a form of moss that will act as a substitute of some of the ingredients inside explosives. I don't have the full details of explosives, so...
Popping moss.
Popping moss, there we go. It's called popping moss.
With an H.
Hopping. Ooh, hopping moss. Hopping moss, there you go.
Its spores, when released, they kind of bounce. Popping moss.
Ooh, I like that. There you go. That's good. But he gets you those supplies out. He can roughly get you maybe enough for four medium-sized.
Well, that'll do, pig. That'll do.
And we're doing like a 2 trade. So like if you want to make a large size, it's 2 medium. If you want to make small, it's 2 small for a medium. So kind of standardizing when I say size categories of how many you can get.
Gotcha.
I'll stick with medium usually for my descriptions because that's what we'll usually be in. And that will probably cost you about, let's see, usually doing just 5 gold. It's a little bit higher of inflation given the area. You would normally be spending for your configurations for 420. 420. The hopping moss would bring it down to 12 to 15. But it would be brought back up by the inflation. So 20 gold. You did say 5 gold though, technically. You said him first. What do you need?
Yeah, I'm looking for small denomination diamonds.
Oh, those are harder to come by. You're in luck though. I do have some. I can't spare too much. I can go up to maybe about 800 worth. It's going to cost 1,000, unfortunately, for me to separate with it. These are imported, and that's how much it cost us to acquire it.
No problem. 1,000 gold it is.
So you all are from the Three Watchers?
Yes, indeed.
You guys are really nice.
Yeah, we do try to make friends as we go along. He Nasu handed over the gold and I assume is handed back the diamonds.
Yeah, he takes the gold and leaves it on the counter in front of you all and then starts kneeling somewhere, and you can hear tinks of little tiny crystalline objects clinking together as he's separating out what you get as he's asking you these questions. Most of the other guilds are pretty stuck up on themselves around here.
Rude. That's just straight rudeness, that is.
Yeah, it is. 800 worth.
Okay, I'm not sure how to add that to my inventory.
That'll be... You'll have to put that in, like, inventory notes at the bottom. 800
okay, very good.
gold's worth value of diamonds.
Very good. Thank you so much for that. Anyone else?
Tevi is going to, while we're in the military place, she's going to look for some more rations because she only has 2 days worth for this journey. And she's also going to look for some sort of whetstone.
Whetstone. The whetstone. Now, for Tevi, you won't actually need to worry about rations on this because you're going to be on a ship that has its own cook and crew that will be worrying about the rations for everyone. So You won't actually have to do that. You can save yourself the coin and the space and wait. For the whetstone, you can easily find one of those for a copper.
Are there any whetstones that look better than any others, perhaps of an enchanted variety?
Not in here. You would have to see inside another kind of stone. That would be another store. That, if that... Okay, so define enchanted variety. What are you getting at? What do you want?
Just wondering if there's any sort of whetstone where, if I were to hone my blade upon that, it would then get some sort of bonus. Such as being extra sharp, or like rolling with advantage for the damage, or whatever. If that's a possibility.
Best place to look for something like that would be like a magical tinkering shop. Probably...
The place that we just were.
The place that you just were. There wouldn't be any in the place that you just were. Save you that sort of the hassle of going back there. But yeah, that's more... Maybe an architect technician would have something that could do something for it as well. Like, possibly. But yeah, no. Not in the military. So, military surplus store. Not in this location, the quartermasters.
Okay.
They use more firearms these days than swords.
So the Tinkery shop was not the Tears of Heaven place that smells like incense, right?
That was the Tears of Heaven place, yeah. The
Okay.
Termite pages, from the looks of it, only has things like spell books, spell scrolls, and other books of various notation.
In whatever time remains of the afternoon and evening, Teffy will dum around in there and see what shows up.
Yeah.
I was going to say, Snozboop, upon leaving this fine establishment, would like to locate, if possible, the information command structure for the military in this area.
Okay. Right. You can definitely easily find where the location's going to be at. If you get to the door and try to go in, you will be barred and blocked from going in.
Well, yeah. By the guard. I assume there's a guard of some
Oh
kind.
yeah. Oh, a couple of them.
Greetings. I am Snozboop of the Three Watchers Guild, and I assume I'm just looking straight up, because I assume all guards are very tall.
Yep. Towering over you.
And I was looking into doing some small amounts of subterfuge across the river. Is that correct? There's a river?
Mhm.
A small amount of subterfuge across the river, and I was looking for some little bits of information that might assist me in that endeavor. Is that something that perhaps you gentlemen or those inside could assist me with?
The two guards exchange looks with each other. Then look down at you. You're on some kind of contract from your guild or something?
Yes, sort of. It's more of a preparatory subterfuge.
Preparatory. You know who's he getting on about? No. Well, meetings with the officers by appointment only. And
Well, I don't necessarily need to speak with an officer. I am fairly certain that anybody with information would be able to assist me. It's a very small matter, really.
well, maybe if you let us know what the question is, we might be able to let you know who would have the information.
Very good. Well, I appreciate that. So, what I'm looking for are really two pieces of information. One, any idea where the forces arrayed against you keep their supplies?
Right, we wouldn't know that. the person who would is inside. It's one of the officers.
Secondarily speaking, are there any areas on the river that should be avoided if one were to attempt a crossing?
All of it?
Well, that's not very specific. Very good. We'll just stick with the first question. Could you perhaps, would you mind, maybe one of you going inside and just asking that question for me?
We have orders to stand here and guard. None of us can
Tell you what, I will stand in your place and guard for one of you. Then still 2 guards.
Stanley, what do we do? I don't know, Bob.
You should believe in friendship. That's what I do.
Alex! Yeah? Go see if the captain's free for a moment. There's a weird gnome out here who wants to talk to him. Alright. Alright, they're on their way.
Oh, I do appreciate that. Thank you so much. I'll just wait right here. How are you? Are they gentlemen guards? They sound like it based upon the tones you were giving them.
Yeah.
Well, how are you gentlemen doing? Obviously, it seems to have been a long war, and it seems to be going longer. How's morale between the 2 of you?
They just kind of exchange looks again. My wife got real sick the other day.
Has that been resolved in a favorable fashion?
Aye, it has. She's been staying in bed a lot lately. I think morale's, one of those things. You just soldier on.
Yes, well said, well said. I had the strangest dream the other day.
The door in the back opens, and a higher-looking military person comes walking out. The captain approaches. He looks a little upset. He's got short, cropped blonde hair, male, human, very regal in how well upkept his uniform looks. And he steps forward. Yes, I understand you. Weird gnome wants to talk to me, and that might not be you.
Thank you so much for taking the time. I do appreciate it. I didn't mean to bother you so effectively. But I am Snozboop of the Three Watchers Guild. You may or may not know our guild master, Julian, but I was looking to do a little bit of subterfuge. He says this a little bit quieter, across the river. But I was hoping that as a part of that, you might be able to tell me, roughly speaking, where the force arrayed across the river keeps their supplies.
We are not that well versed inside their camps and cannot tell you exactly where the supplies are. He's looking around as he's saying this. Furthermore, I would not be able to actually encourage your subterfuge on the other side, as we are not looking for help from any of the guilds at this point, and nor will we be paying any of the guilds for any of their services that they deem.
To be clear, the subterfuge would be for my own benefit, but it would work favorably for you as well, seemingly. So, I was probably likely going to attempt regardless, but I thought you may want to assist with that bit of information, if possible.
If it is for your own benefit, then it is on top of your head. Any information I give you makes us supplicant to whatever happens to you.
I mean,
I cannot condone this action.
Over our communicators, I'm going to go.
What exactly is your plan in this situation?
oh, my plan. I was going to swim across the river and then steal some of their diamonds.
And how are you planning on accomplishing that?
Magic.
Oh my gosh.
Well, very good. Thank you for your time. I do appreciate it. Have a wonderful evening. And Snozpoop will leave.
He's going to stand there for a while watching you leave. Then he turns to one of the guards and the guard runs off. And then he gets back towards the inside of the tree. Where y'all going next? Well, Taffy, actually, you're inside that the store. Inside,
Yes.
there's another being who looks identical to the one in the store next to him. When you ask him what his name is, he looks up and says, "Oh, Lively."
Oh no, why would you do this to me?
Because I can. I have lots of peculiarities in here. What my brother does not want to sell, I sell here. Usually it's books. He does not like paper. He likes metal.
Okay, Teffy's not looking for anything in particular that she wishes to share with this identical creature named Lively. But she's just going to peruse and look herself for perhaps another edition of Nalrin's journal, or for any sort of maps that may prove useful on this journey, or she's just hanging out. She likes a good bookshop. She's not really doing anything in particular.
Okay. Give me percentile dice.
2 percentile dice in one evening? My goodness. That is a 31.
31. There's no other additions to Nalrin's journals of any kind. You do find some of the other guy, Quibby, I think his name was.
Oh, Quincy Quimbendale.
Quincy Quimbendale, that's him. Yep, Quincy, that's it. Good old Quincy. A couple of journals that you have read. One that's a rare edition that you've read it, you've been through it, you don't own it yet, but there's one here. There's a peculiar... It's something he's using as more like a paperweight to hold down some papers, but it's a cryptex. A cylindrical, bronze-looking device with spinning circles on the inside of it. And it's holding down a series of papers that look to be short stories, written in the same handwriting of some kind of poorly handwriting script. Nothing you would ever recognize.
What's that you've got there then?
These are stories of my own. I write not very good, though.
Fascinating. Are you basing them off anything, or are you just kind of pulling them out of your own head?
Books I read and head, events I see. This one, pulls one stack out from underneath the thing, and this one is of one of the battles that happened a few lines back. I like to keep documentation of occurrences.
Is there a historian for things that are happening in real time then?
Yes, I like to be that.
And what's this paperweight of yours?
That? Oh, well, exactly that. Just a paperweight. Brother couldn't figure it out. I don't know how to open it, and everything else we've tried has not worked, so I use it for what we can use it for. Keeping papers from flying.
Effie rummages in her pockets until she pulls out that weird glowy crystal from the table where she pressed all the buttons. She
Oh.
pulls out her crystal that she had taken forever ago and says, well, if it's just a paperweight, then do you mind if we swap it? I'm very interested in that item, and you can have this this funky rock.
May I see?
She hands him the glowy crystal thing.
Fascinating. It certainly is more useful. It gives off small amounts of light. Okay, we can trade.
All right. Pleasure doing business with you, Lively. Lively. Oh, my dear.
Yes,
Apologies.
Lively is my brother. I am Lively.
Can I ask why your parents did this to you?
Because
Did
they
they
are
only have
cruel.
one name out?
Just one name. And two came out, and they're cruel. They're dead now.
Oh, well, if it's all the same, I know people where one of them was clearly an accident. Brandy and Brandon. Parents only had one name chosen.
Oh, that's such a misfortunate happenstance. It does happen, though.
All right. Well, Teffy starts spinning this little gadget. How many letter spaces does it have across? 6?
6.
Nice, good standard
So
crypt
you've
checks.
got 6. Yep.
Okay. Teffy is fidgeting with it, and at this point, I assume it's kind of later in the evening, so she will head back to the accommodations.
Okay. Yeah, it's later in the evening for all of you. Haji's point, especially after your gallivanting and looking for answers that, unfortunately, the military, yeah, they won't give it to you. That's a little too much of a disconnection for their liking.
After leaving the guards, what have you, I'm gonna have a look-see by the river to see what I can see.
Give me a perception check. Ooh.
Alton, you want to come and help me?
I'm going to lazily walk up and pull the bottom part of my mask up over my nose and begin eating some rations while looking across the river. And I'm going to say,
What exactly do you expect to find?
The evidence of, central location where people have to go often?
What makes you think you'd be able to see it from this location? They would obviously hide it from direct view.
They may not be the most intelligent. I don't have a lot else to go on. Unless you have a suggestion, which I'm very open to hearing.
Maybe BT can throw you as high as he can. Maybe you'll get a view then.
But ain't nothing but canopy above you.
Okay, well, I roll it an
I'm going
8,
to pull my mask down.
so I assume I didn't see anything.
An 8, yeah, you won't see any sense of general location for supplies. You will have enough of a sight to see that every tree location you can see with them having a base in it is guarded. It would be the same on your side as well. You'd be noticing for the first time the sentry stations that are keeping an eye on the water and the riverfront on both sides. Each tree you can spot at least half a dozen people staring towards the direction where you're coming from. or where you are.
I'm going to do an investigation
watched.
roll from where I can see. I'm going to do an investigation to see if I can count exactly how many people are. Okay. That's a 30
Good.
with a 19 on the die. Oh, actually, it's a 30 with a 19 on the die.
Seeing
I want an exact number so I can give it to Snozboom.
Seeing Schnozboop squints and looking against the fading of the sun that is now setting, with it glaring across the water where it can. You, Altian, can make out in each tree there are 20 stations on 3, 30 on 2, and those are the ones that you can see more clearly. Each of them, the thing that might, we'll leave you to determine how Altian feels about it, but they're all carrying what to you is very clearly manufactured in Grantina rifles.
Well, first of all, Snozboop, even if you did pick the right tree the first time around, you'd have to sneak through about 20 to 30 guards. I'm not even sure if I'd be capable of that.
Well, we've gotten through worse.
And they have Gratine roll weapons, powerful ones. It's another issue.
Yeah. I don't know how this is. I'm not how sure it works in the system or not. Is there a way for me to sense other magic users, or is it only if they cast magic?
It's only if they cast magic.
Okay.
There can be some ways to do that, but you need to have... I believe there is a sorcerer class that can do it. Basically, you need to have some kind of metamagic feature to be able to do that.
Okay.
And Schnozboop, as a bard, wouldn't have that.
Right.
But detect magic would be the next best bet.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll just go in blind. See what I can see. Maybe I'll find other interesting things.
You do realize that if you go, I have to go, right?
I thought I was told that you have a sleeping appointment.
Which is the issue. Which means you're not going.
But you have to go to sleep.
Do I have to chain you to your bed tonight?
Well, that wouldn't be very friendly, Altian.
I'm going to reach down and pick him up. I'm just going to grab the back of his collar and pick him up and bring him to high level.
Hey, Snozboop, you just let me know this isn't okay and I'll put him in the water.
I appreciate that. Philemon. But no need.
You may be wily, but you're not that wily.
You may be right. Snozboop pats his arm.
I'm going to sit him back down gently.
Oh,
All right.
Great idea. I like it.
To
Do I hear that?
the sleep areas.
You've got it high enough. Yeah, you would hear it.
All right, I'm gonna turn to Philemon, and I'm gonna say,
You know what? It isn't the worst idea. You could go.
Give me a percentile dice.
Hmm.
Ooh.
81.
81. Philemon vanishes.
I'm gonna turn to Snozboop and I'm gonna go,
Tavern of Worlds, thanks for the raid. Welcome in. They're
Hello, hello.
they're contemplating trying to steal a lot of diamonds from a heavily encamped enemy force. One of them's trying to talk the others down, but hey, welcome.
Yeah. And then our fairy friend disappeared.
Yeah.
Well, wherever he went. I keep calling him a fairy because that's what he is in my mind, but I realize he's not actually a fairy and he's a
Not at
primordial.
all.
But
It's gone again.
well, very good. To the sleeping quarters, then I suppose.
Indeed, to the sleeping quarters. Thanks everyone for those follows. Tommy Beans, Mega
Ooh,
Man.
thank you,
Ooh,
guys.
Mega Man. Love it. Subproton Frog and Tavern of Worlds. Hey, thank you so much for alerting me again that my alert box has once again disappeared. I add it every single week and it disappears again. I'll have to add that to my list of double checks. But we got that goal of 480.
Ooh,
To the next one, shall we?
to the next.
490.
To the sleeping quarters.
To the sleeping quarters. You get to the sleeping quarter building location, and Julian is inside. He's talking with the first lieutenant. Eulandria. Hey. Oh my goodness, another raid. Seabox.
Double
Thanks so much for
raid.
the raid. Double raid. We just got hit by
A
2.
double wave.
A double raid. I was just speaking with 5 women, okay? It's hard to get away from that voice. Oh, thank you so much. Whoa. Magnificent. What were you all doing? Let's actually do a little...
Yeah,
good
what were you guys
grief.
doing?
What were you all doing? Yeah, both of you. Both of the people who have... Oh, the follows keep coming. Thank you so much, Sunshine. Tavern of Worlds. Let's do a so to them. Little break time. Sorry, everyone. Breaking from the RP for a moment. Not a bad place to.
That's all right.
Yeah,
We just got done shopping.
that's true. Tavern of
And
Worlds.
try to convince the CIA to give me information for their benefit.
Yeah,
Okay.
the CIA,
File a
he
Freedom
says.
of Information Act request, bud. They'll send you a letter
And then,
telling you whatever
wait
information
30
they
to
have.
40 years
It
until
is-
they
I don't
finally go,
have
oh yeah,
time
oop,
for those
we
kinds
did
of
that.
letters.
It's fun though.
But then you start hearing pops in the phone.
Start. You weren't hearing them before?
No. I'm just minding my own beeswax up in here.
In the phone, you pick up the sending rock, and as soon as you start sending, you hear it's recording the words you're sending. Ricola, thank you so much for the follow. And Aaron Shaw, Seapox,
We have a sound for
Ricola,
this.
Guffball.
Now, what if I did it for as many subscribers? Like every time I saw it on the screen, I
Please
just kept.
no.
No, I'm kidding.
It just
Anyway,
there
that's-
have been quite a few in the last few minutes. Thank you so much, everyone,
Mhm.
for the follows and for the supports there. We're the Albarin, where we play TTRPGs and have a hoot. As one of our campaigns. Shall we?
We go to sleep now?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
go to
let's
sleep now and wake up.
I'm gonna be go to
Nice and-
sleep.
Oh, you can. Yes. So, Big Tin, while it's the nighttime, you can observe that there are even patrols that go along on the riverside. Some of them get a little close to each other, but no actual engagements happen. But it is a very high active time frame.
What's the general reaction to a predator wandering around?
Here? The general reaction here, if you're wandering around, a lot of people would start to follow, but soon see the guild sign and not do much. They would leave you mostly to your own business. If you were here to moidorize things, you'd probably be doing that. And having the guild sign on your side, well, that's a clear indicator to them that you're not here for that.
Well, that's just arrogant on their part. But anyway,
War weariness as well.
is there any other steel predators around?
Not in this area. Do you ask anyone about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. In this spot, no. This one's more focused on the hands-on, less weighs too heavy for the trees in the long run kind of ordeal. They do have steel predators inside their armies, however they are focused more towards the east, closer into the Boneberg Mountains regions, where the ground is solid and harder for them to sink into, because that is one problem you would have had while you were walking through the marshes, constantly seeking in.
Cool.
Peter, I need a stealth check. Oh, Schnorsboop, I should say.
Yes, he does.
Yeah. Looking up his numbers. Oh, you're muted.
22?
22? That's good for the future. This, unfortunately, Ultian, is going to be happening after you're put into your dream state. So that'll be escaping your observations.
You're gonna get a timeout tomorrow.
It may not be it tomorrow.
That may not be.
Yeah, let's see.
Let's see. Taffy, anything from you, or are you actually doing the sleepies? I have a feeling they froze right when I asked that.
Mm-hmm.
It does seem
It doesn't
that
look
way.
like it, yeah. Oh, look at the internet. How glorious it
Oh,
is. and
her eyes are
what it
blinking
does.
now.
There.
Okay.
Ah,
We're caught up.
the baby's back.
So Teffy will be, Kel Bloody Surprise, sleeping during the sleep time. She will be dreaming about different types of cheese and serving them with honey and fruits.
Delicious. Delightful. Stupendous. Wonderful. Excellent. In that case,
Do I have a chance?
yeah.
Since I'm out wandering around, do I have a chance of seeing Snoz?
Sneeze noise? Yes. Which was about to ask. Who would you like to do first, Ultian or Schnorsboop? Because if we're doing Schnorsboop first, I need a perception check from Big Tin to see if they catch you.
I feel like we should do Snozzboops first because I
Schnozzboops
feel
first?
like
Yeah.
it might take up until the break, and then if
That's
he
good
ends
timing.
up dying, that's a good timing. It's good timing.
All right, Big Tin, give me a perception check to see if you notice the Schnorsboop. That teased so much. Oh
What?
my
No.
goodness.
What is up with the configuration of your dice? First of all,
I
I
mean,
hate the
so-
configuration of your digital die because
Here's the
the
thing.
one should not be right next to the 20. That's not how that works.
Here's the thing. On a natural dice, I absolutely agree that configuration, no. Don't roll a dice with
Well,
that.
here's the
This
point
is a
of it.
digital
Every
dice,
number-
though. It's digital.
No, but
It's
every number is supposed to be the opposite. You know, it's supposed to be the
It's
opposite
supposed to all
side on
count
a
up to
D20.
21 on either side, but it's a digital dice. What we're seeing is just a representation of what the program's come up with as soon as he clicks the button. So it's just a teaser, and boy, does it tease.
Wait,
It's
that's
a nat 20 though.
It is a nat 20, yeah.
Not 20 for 25.
Oh, delicious. I love that dice. It,
It could have easily been a 6, though, or
True.
one natural 1.
True. Yeah, you'll you'll catch Nozboop sneaking along one of the walkways as you're meandering through. He is, I believe, heading back towards the river district, the river territory.
So then I will switch into stealth mode and follow Snoz.
Snoz will obviously be watching all around.
Keeping an eye out. So yeah, Big Tin, give me a stealth check. Schnorzboop, let's see what your perception's like.
Am I at an advantage?
You are at
That's how we were
advantage,
doing
yeah.
it? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Okay. That will be dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Okay. I roll a 13. I don't see
Roll
it.
13. Don't see him. Yeah. All right,
Okay,
Schnell
then.
Spook.
I'm gonna approach the river and stealthily, with as little sound as possible, get into the river and just dive deep.
Okay, so let me bring a bit more context again. Point a few things out here.
You thought you were leaving in the morning.
So the platforms in the trees are roughly 150 feet above the river fronts. So you'll need to be climbing down the tree in some fashion, which is possible. The river to swim across is at least 600 feet. Getting across is not going to be something you can do underneath the whole time. You'll have to surface at least a third of the way through for breath. You will not
I can
be able
breathe
to
underwater.
That's right, you have the mask. So putting the mask on, you can breathe underwater. The next, you know what? From there, that's all we could cover from that point.
And Big Tim doesn't have to breathe technically, does
Big
he?
Ten doesn't have to breathe.
No, I could walk across the river.
Yeah.
But this isn't going to end well. We know it's not going to end well.
You know, miracles have happened with dice rolls, so
Yeah, but I've already had my natural 20. So next will be a
True.
natural 1.
yeah.
At the
I've
worst
got at least 3 natural 20s in me. I'm sure of it.
You climb
Well,
down the
Big Tim
tree.
getting seen would actually be a good distraction.
It would be, potentially. You climb down the waterfront. You get to the bottom of the surface. It's muggy. It's very gross. It's also littered with corpses and sunken ships. They've been fighting here for a very long time. It'll take you at least an hour to even cross halfway.
Great. I'm gonna do that.
Okay, keep going.
He's committed, folks.
It's committed. Big Tin, if you're not following at any point, you let me know. I'll consider you as following outside of his sight. So these descriptions will also be for you as well.
Okay. Yeah, I'll follow.
So
I think this is a bad idea, but I'll follow.
you continue on, and you reach the base of the roots for the first tree. While you were walking, you saw several boat patrols go by as well. The water on the top, you know, is not empty. Roughly about 100 feet away from each other is another boat patrol. They're well organized and well patrolled. From what you saw, there were 5 trees. Where are you heading? Where are you going?
The middle tree.
A middle tree? Okay. There are 3 of them that you can possibly discern. Which one would you like to hit? 1, 2, or 3?
2.
2? Okay. How you doing this?
Well, as I approach the other side and I'm about to surface, I would like to make myself invisible.
Okay. Pop invisibility on yourself.
And then well, we're gonna see what's what as far as getting up. Are they blocking the routes, or can I walk by people?
So first you're going to have to climb the tree. There's no way to get up it by itself. The base of it is quite large. It's kind of like facing a rock wall. You know what that feels like. But with more grips, because bark is more grippy.
Okay. They don't have any stairs or anything?
No. They
Okay,
have
fair
no
enough.
stairs. You can see, like, even on the side for the Vazuth, the stairs that you used to get up were retractable. They were pulled up again. They don't leave any way for people at the bottom to get up easily. siege. See,
Smart,
both these
smart,
both
smart.
these sides are at siege technically, so you're not going to find any easy way to get up.
Okay.
So you're going to have to climb first. I'm going to need an athletics for that. There's no
Okay.
acrobatics on this side.
Is there anyone around? that
The
I can see?
nearest boat patrols would be 50 feet away or so. Above you, you can see the bottom end of what would be a cocoon nest for a rifleman, nested along the tree at about 50 feet up.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna whisper down to myself. Do you believe in friendship? And then try to do this. Wait, you said acrobatics?
Athletics.
It has to be athletics.
This is going to have to be athletics. Acrobatics would be too fast paced.
No.
I can't see any way of doing climbing up this tree stealthily, acrobatically.
Okay, fair enough. I will say that is my only attribute that isn't positive.
Ooh.
See how that goes.
Yeah, you're talking more of a careful ascent.
14.
14. It's good enough to be climbing things, especially with the access of grip holds for the bark. You're climbing up it. I'm going to need a stealth check. Big Tin, this is where problems might come up. I don't know.
Do
if
I
you
need
can
to
easily
stealth
follow.
even though I'm invisible?
You are going to need to stealth even though you are invisible. This is going to be an added advantage, but you do still need to stealth. You're still making noise.
Gotcha. That's going to be a 21.
21, okay. BT. Schnozboop starts heading towards the surface, about 15 feet from the base of a tree, and as soon as he's poking up, turns invisible.
Turns invisible.
He turns completely invisible. You can see loose, wet handprints start to appear along the bark of the tree. As you can tell, he's starting to ascend it.
It's like that scene in Hollow Man during the rain where like you can see the silhouette of him because of all the water dripping off.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will just watch for now. I am not going to try and follow.
Okay. Just watching Schnozboop as you're 20 feet. So, up.
Can I try a trick?
Yeah?
I want to home in on his radio.
Okay, right. Yes. There are things that have developed that we haven't gotten into fully just yet. Give me a... Let's make it an Arcana check. Ooh.
You're 14, and I think it's a +3.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, so 17.
17. You can. You can hone in and focus on his little earpiece. And in fact,
I'll just track him that way.
there's Schnozboop on your side, a little tiny pop in your earpiece. Non-sequential. Like nothing else behind it, just a tiny little pop. We're climbing up, about 30 feet up the tree. One of the boats that's patrolling circles around. You can see they have a stone that's emitting a focused light in the front as they're scanning around the water. They pass by the tree. Inconsequential. There are 3 people on each boat. 2 people with lights, one holding his rifle ready, keeping an eye, and one powering the boat, with his hand on one of those devices that takes the arcane energy. The difficult part that you'll come across now is once you get to the cocoon that you can see the bottom of, you know that it's got someone in it. About 15 feet around the side of it is another cocoon with another person in it. They are 50 feet up the base of the tree, and at this point, at this angle, now that you're closer, you can see another 50 feet up, there's another ring of cocoons watching. You have to get past both these rings. How would you like to do this?
Well, I'm guessing they're looking outwards, where the perceived threat would be.
But also a little indented in, so the perception and sight of the sides is not limited.
Let's see here. Can I tell at this point where I am how far until there's like a platform, like
20
where?
feet up above the second ring. So you are, at this point, let's put you 10 feet below the bottom ring. So that's 40 feet up, 10 feet, 60 feet, 20 feet. You're 80 feet away. And you can see the bottom of the platforms. You cannot see the top of the platforms. So doing tricks like Misty Step, well, I think it's either Dimension Door or Misty Step, you need to see the location. One of them, you don't need to see the location. You
Misty Step, you do.
Misty Step, you do. Okay. I think that's 60 feet anyway.
Okay. I think Misty Step's only 30, but I'll double check here in a sec. But I'm just gonna keep quietly climbing as possible in between.
Climbing as quietly as possible in between, okay. Get in between, you start climbing up. The guard on your right-hand side shifts. You hear the clink of the rifle as it hits a piece of wood on the side. Glance over and he's just getting himself a little bit more wrapped up. It's gotten quite cold at this point of the night. He breathes out and heavy fog comes out of his mouth as the condensation freezes it leaves his body. You manage to get past the first circle. I need, now, another acrobatics check.
Actual
You mean
acrobatics?
Athletics, I do mean athletics, you're right, yes. You just all usually choose acrobatics, so this one has to be athletics, though. Doing things carefully. Relying more on strength than anything.
14.
14. Holding to it, it is getting harder. You can feel how tired your muscles are becoming. Gripping and holding on to this tree this way while you're climbing up. You get another 40 or so feet, and by this point, getting to the last ring, I'll need another stealth check.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Climbing up, use the same distance to get in between the middle of them. The left foot slips on some moss, and a little piece comes off, and guard on the left looks and refocuses back towards the river. And you finish climbing past the final circle and get up to the base of a platform. Now, the base of these platforms, unfortunately, there's no easy way to get in where you're at. They're basically a 90-degree angle. You could go to where the normal ladder would be, and where hatch is, where you can climb in. The alternative, the only other way you can get around here, as far as just physically without any other kind of assets, would be scaling the bottom of the platform and climbing up around the railing.
We'll do this. Oh, there's another option?
Whatever you might come up with. You might have something that I'm not pointing out.
Is it readily noticeable how the guards, they just move around?
No. Not from where you're at. You wouldn't be able to see any of the guards. You might hear some footsteps of heavy boots in the distance. Or
I mean
else.
the cocoon guards who are guarding now with the rifles. How did they get there?
No, you're not sure.
Okay. I will climb out and around.
Okay. This one will be a considerably higher DC. Okay. Considering this is a much harder angle.
We the baby arms over here.
Yes.
And I could feasibly actually
Jesus.
see acrobatics for this one. So athletics or acrobatics on this one. You could feasibly. It's still going to be similar DC, but...
Snozboop knows he's an old man. He's going to go to the hatch.
Go to the hatch, okay. move over to the hatch. Push on it. It's locked.
It's locked. Okay. It's locked. Interesting development. Is there a keyhole?
Not on this side.
No keyhole.
But you do hear a... And then... And a
Oh,
little
no.
furry pink and purple head pop out from the top.
The guards are just around the corner. Hurry, you're losing out on your time. Quickly,
He's
come
in.
on.
I'm going in. And then I will whisper to File Demon, hey, go make some fun. Make a lot of noises somewhere. That's not by me. And then Snozzoop's gonna stealthily as fast as he can
And start.
get away from the hatch.
Okay. I need two things for how this is going to be. First thing, another stealth check, general stealth check from you to see how well you're moving around up here.
21.
21. Okay. The other thing is a percentile dice.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
This one is a 10. This one. Okay. A 98.
A 9. Oh my goodness. You and your extreme rolls for percentiles. I mean, you gave me the 2%, you gave me the 1%, you've given me all the good rolls.
You're welcome.
Thanks. So you start running. You start moving. You didn't get the supply tree. You got the command tree.
Oh, okay.
So there are lots of doorways with guards in front of them. And looking around, you can see that there are several lights inside the trees are still on, but looking through some of the windows, it looks to be just a study of some kind with obviously a high-ranking official. The uniforms over here are very kin and similar to the Vazuth Republic, but they are darker colorations. A lot of red and a lot of black included inside their uniform formations. Whenever you do run by one of the patrolling groups, the one in the head of them, there's something different about them that you're not fully catching because of your fast pace. They look to be wearing heavier armor,
Okay.
but with the little amount of detail you can catch while you're moving so quickly, you know that there's something else wrong with them, but you're not getting enough detail with the speed of moving. There is I don't want to say flash. Well, it would be a flash because it would be bright enough, but an explosion comes from deeper into
Great.
cityscape here, and some pieces of wood start flying around, nowhere near you, but you can see them. BT, you can hear this explosion happen. People immediately start bursting into actions. The guards don't move, they just look around uncomfortably, any guards around any of the doorways. But one of the doors flies open, and this full plate individual with spiked armor in places. The spikes, they don't look like they're forged to his armor. They look like they're growing from his armor. And the man comes... Oh, yeah.
I was to say, when that person moves, I would like to go into that door.
Yeah, when he comes flying out the door, looks at one of the guards and be like, "You, with me, now!" And while you're passing by him, you can see that his left eye has turned completely black, while his right eye is still brown, and like a normal human, like what he appears to be. And there are these thickened black veins seeping up his right neck, or his left neck. But this heavily armored individual runs past, and you slip through the door. You are inside one of these... Well, you're inside the tree.
Okay. I'm gonna look around for diamonds and informational paperwork.
Diamonds and informational paperwork. Which one are you wanting to make a priority?
Paperwork. I don't think there'll be diamonds in here.
Okay, give me a percentile dice.
7.
7. You scooching past some of the servants and other individuals, many of which you can see are branded in some way. Kind of like cattle would be branded, a sign of ownership. It's that these people are slaves, they're property. And there's no differentiating behind what their kind of heritage would be. Doesn't matter who they are, what they are. They're used, worked, forced labor. But scooching around all of them, you find your way to the main office study where piles of paperwork just seem to be sitting there, almost like they would never have expected someone to be bold enough to run into the middle of one of their encampments like this. Snag some up. And with a 7%, you'll also be able to find a small sack of gems.
Oh, hi.
I'm only going to make it 50 gold worth of diamonds, but it'll be a little something at least.
Diamonds and stack of papers.
Diamonds and stack of papers, yeah. Of which
Very
is
good.
written in a language I don't think you speak.
Unlikely.
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna take all the papers that I can stealthily, and then I'm gonna get them in my bag. Try to make them as waterproof as possible, so they don't
Okay.
get wet.
Yeah.
Can you tell me the layout of this room building?
You
Like what I
kind
would
of
be seeing.
what you'd be seeing is it vaguely looks like the innards of a giant tree that has been carved out to make rooms. And it's more circular in corridors and circular in rooms. Like the rooms aren't squared off. They're all rounded with a flat bottom. And the corridors are rounded with a flat bottom as well. They're very thin. Like you might be able to get 2 people side by side. If they're fully heavily armored people, they wouldn't be able to stand side by side. For this, you have to maybe go up a floor or 2.
Okay. And the branded individuals, what's their situation?
Their situation, they are rushing around with various forms of equipment. You do see some running with another, looks to be higher up official, who seems to be dictating to them, as the one on the left with a brand on his forehead is quickly writing down everything they're dictating.
Okay. Can I understand what they're saying?
Do you speak Vesuth?
No.
No.
Okay. Well, you know what? What's my timeline?
Timeline?
How long have I been invisible?
That's a fair question. It probably would have taken about 15 to 20 minutes. Let's go with 15 to climb up the tree.
Okay.
For slow approach and responses. Probably at least another 20 or so minutes to get around to here. So let's go with 35 minutes in.
Casting tongues on myself.
Is that concentration?
Nope.
Nope. Nice. Casting tongues in yourself. What you hear as a foreign language at first changes to, I want the fleet assembled immediately. Strike back as soon as you can. Whatever it is they're doing, we're not going to let it sit. If they won't let us sleep, then we won't let them sleep. Mobilize as quickly as you can. I want the fleets out in the waters in an hour.
Interesting. Okay. Are there any windows?
There have been windows. You're deeper into the tree. You know where one is. Just one corridor down.
Okay. I'm gonna go there. Go out the window.
Give me another stealth check.
Okay, things are getting dicey. That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You hearing this, step out. And one of the individuals that's standing right behind him on the right-hand side stops. You hear a... And his eyes shift, and the head shifts over to where you're standing.
Snap. I'm misty stepping as far away as possible.
As soon as you do, you immediately start hearing, "Intruder! Intruder!"
Snap.
And soon see that individual burling, skidding to a stop, turning, and still making eye contact with you, even though you're invisible. His eyes are both pitch black. He's lost all color in his face. These blackened vines seem to be curling around his face.
Yeesh.
And he's starting to charge your direction. You're at the window.
Through the window? I'm going through the window.
Going through the window? Okay. Jumping out the window, you go crashing through. You're a couple of stories up at this point. Give me an acrobatics or athletics.
Acrobatics for 21.
Acrobatics for 21. Nimbly, you come crashing down to the platform down below, about 15 or so feet. You are still going to take some damage for glass and,
Sure.
you know, tumbling. But,
okay.
I
That's
rolled maximum 6 points of
okay.
damagios.
For some reason, I thought they would not have glass windows. That was
No, they do.
Okay.
Reasonable assumption, though. Not usually a common thing.
Okay, and
You're on a platform about one level above, actually, genuinely one level above where you first started yourself.
how far to the ground?
150 feet.
Okay. Still invisible. I'm going to climb down the tree.
Still invisible? Okay. Finding the hatch. You will find it quickly and easily. Dashing over to it, stepping up to grab that ring and hear a and look up and see that guy still following you. He jumped out the window as well. He's lifting his head up after landing in that hero pose and is staring straight at you again. This time, there is a long blade that has a wicked curve at the end of it, that has this dripping red liquid that seems to be going down the center of it.
Okay. Okay, going through the hatch. And then I'm gonna close the hatch. I don't know if this is possible, because I've only ever used this spell for a different reason. May I grow plant growth over the hatch?
This one I'm going to need to look at the specifics of plant growth. Plant growth 5e.
Creatures must move through the air, must spend 4 feet of movement for every one it moves.
Immediate and long-term effects. It's instantaneous. That's good. Range is 150 feet. Vitally, two possible uses. Exclude one or more of the areas in the size. Oh, that's cool. And they last 8 hours. Wow. This is a cool spell. 4 feet of movement. Yeah, there's nothing of line of sight on there, so you should be able to. It's within the range. You are familiar with the terrain, which is something I usually like to require for things like this, is you've at least seen it once, so you can imagine where you're casting it.
Excellent. So I'll get through it, get through the hatch, close the hatch, start climbing down, cast plant growth above me, and keep climbing down.
And keep climbing down, okay. there is actually
Be
something
back
we've...
within line of sight of me.
He will be back within line of sight, but there is something we have to cover here. You're not under greater invisibility. You're just under invisibility. It would have snapped away when you cast Misty Step,
Why?
because it's a spell. Misty Step is an action spell that, when casting it, when you cast another spell, it breaks invisibility. To keep your invisibility, to keep casting, you want greater invisibility. So there's 2 levels of it. Invisibility just makes you invisible. Can't do anything major. You can open up doors. You can engage with basic items and other things like that. But casting spells will break it.
Spell ends for a target that attacks or casts a spell. That's
Eee.
unfortunate.
Yeah. So you will be visible.
Well, it is what it is.
But it wouldn't have had any effect up until this point. You're casting that growth. You can hear the footsteps get muffled by plants above you as this person is running towards the hatch. What you then will hear is the clicking of a rifle below you. But I'm going to switch over to BT for this bit because BT would first see some of the cocoons that you would have spotted by this point, having been out here for this long. The riflemen have been looking up at the commotion happening up above them, and have just seen Schnozboop, a gnome they're not familiar with, climb out from the hatch, close it, cast a spell, and start climbing down. The 2 that have a good line of sight have moved their rifles to begin firing. There's plenty of time for you to have done or tried to do something though, BT.
How far away are they?
The first ring is 50 feet. The second ring is 100 feet.
The 2 people aiming at him?
There are 50 feet for... Yes. So the 2 of them are aiming at him right now. And... Excuse me. Goodness.
Oh, they're in 2 different spots.
They're in 2 different spots. One's 50 feet from you and one's 100 feet. So the 100 feet from you is closer to Schnozboop, but 20 feet from him.
Okay. At the 100 feet spot, I assume they're, at the moment, a higher threat to Schnozboop. A hypnotic pattern.
Ooh. I think that's an... Hang on.
It's a 30-foot cube, 120-foot range.
Nice. Yeah, it's a 30-foot cube bit. You can definitely angle that to only hit him, because I think it also hits friendlies if you're not careful enough with hypnotic pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
Okay,
angle
cool.
it.
Awesome. What roll do I need to do?
Wisdom save.
Wisdom save. Oh, that's a good one for these guys.
They're
Good
grunts.
to use against him. Yeah, they're grunts.
Yeah.
He rolled a 17 for a 16 total.
Jeez.
Rolled well, unfortunately. Does
Yeah, I
something
think
still
so.
happen?
I trying to figure out what in the world my save
It's a
is.
3rd level spell. Oh yeah, that's another important thing. What did we base that on? Because if I remember correctly, it's
Spell
15.
save DC is A plus proficiency plus intelligence, so it's currently for me very low. So it's only at 12 right now.
Yeah, normally that would
He
be
saved.
hard. He saved. You can
There's
see
nothing.
he shakes his head, Schnozboop, and there's like a flash of colorations before his eyes. But he blinks and the flash disappears quickly. We're gonna roll it back around quickly to... Actually, no, we need to roll initiative. Sorry to Ulti and Entafi.
That's
But
alright.
Unfortunately, this one, we've got to a point where this could change drastically in seconds. So we need initiative. Ah! Oh, well, all right. Okie dokie, Schnozboop.
7.
Schnoz is at 7. Big Tin,
Well,
12. What's your dex?
My dex is +4.
+4. You then are going first. Big Tin. You're up first. You get another chance. That first hypnotic pattern is basically like what a surprise round would be. They had no idea you were down there. But it's your turn.
The range is a problem, but gee, this is just gonna go so bad. So fast. I will try it again.
Try it again? Okay.
Yeah, try it again. That's at that range, it's really the only thing I can do.
That dice list down there now. This time it's a 16 on the die for a 15.
He still passes.
Still passes, unfortunately, but it kind of lingers on his eyes for a second more. That is an action. Any bonus action?
No. I'm gonna remain, since I can do that pretty much stealthily, I'm gonna remain where I am.
Huh. For a moment and vanishes. Okay. I just realized it's a concentration spell, so I was trying to look for if it stays in place even if they succeed. So you don't have to double cast, but no. It's concentration for if it succeeds. Unfortunate. Okay. Yeah, remaining where you're at. They don't fully actually understand. Well, actually, only one of them would have a chance, and he's kind of blaming the gnome above him right now. After you, Big Tin, the movements above you, Schnozzboop, continue. The muffled footsteps. Quick, but not as quick as they would be. The next thing you'll see as you're about 3 or so feet away from the trapdoor is the long tip of this blade get inserted through the floor and start to get carved across and around. He's spending his turn creating an opening for him to go through. It is your turn, Schnozzboop. You're at the top of the tree, roughly 120 feet above the ground, holding on to the side of it.
Cool. I'm gonna go invisible again.
Okay. Casting invisibility a little.
What level spell?
2.
Ooh.
I don't know. I'm pretty far from you. I don't know if that matters.
You're within sight, which you are. That'll work.
That's a yes on that one. 19.
Oh.
Close.
And then I'm going to use all available assets and speed to get down the tree, ignoring everyone else.
Okay. I'm going to need an acrobatics check. If you would like to keep full movements, it'll be at disadvantage. If you want to go at half movements, it'll be just straight roll.
Just to be clear, the outcome of a fail to this would be
You
falling
fall
all the way down the tree,
Yeah, you'd be falling all the way down.
which would be 100,
20 feet.
120 feet.
12d6.
What's
11d6, excuse me.
11d6. Oof. Yeah, we better not.
Oh, you have
Okay.
30 HP right now. Oh no. Yeah. Yeah, the
Could have
average.
done it, maybe, but that's a 22.
A 22. Yeah, you're getting down easily enough. And you have a movement of 25 feet, so half, rounded up 15. You're getting down at around almost the base level of the top tier of their defensive line. That is going to be your turn, because you cast invisibility and then movement. It is the guards on the side's turn. The two taking aim are going to crack their shots off at you. The first one closest to you. Whoop, whoop.
Do they do that disadvantage since they can't see me?
They do, seeing as they cannot see you.
Cool.
They are judging this off of loose-based impressions of where you might be. Even at disadvantage, that one, 12 plus 6, 18 to hit.
Silvery barbs?
Silvery barbs? Oh, yeah. Guessing you want to give yourself the advantage?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah? That changed it to... Oh, wait, no. You're forcing him to do a complete reroll. Disadvantage. Oh, good. 9.
It's a miss.
9 to this poor guy. 2 hypnotic patterns around silvery barbs. I mean, his eyesight, he's going to go to the doctor if he survives this. He's got to get his eyes checked. And he pops this crack off and it whizzes by with it. Second one is a 9 again to try to
It's a
hit.
miss.
I rolled poorly on that one. Another embeds inside the wood next to you. They're not too close, but they're getting the general area. It helps that they're more shooting up, and descending down is still going to remain inside their line of sight. But if you move, you're just going to be getting into the sight of the other two on the other side. So no matter what you do, you'll be getting shot by 2 people. That's their turn. Big Tin, back to you. Schnozzboop is now 105 feet up.
Well, I mean, there's not much else I can do, but I'll try hypnotic pattern again.
Give it a shot again. Let's see. You know what?
So I run out of energy.
Up. Natural 1. He failed.
Hey! He's charmed.
While charmed with the spell, the creature is incapacitated. Yeah, he's... Schnoz, that one that just cracked a shot and is carefully looking for evidence of where you're at that you're really close to. You see his eyes get flashed again by colorations, and then when the colors stop, they're pale. Like some pale color of whatever Schnozzboop or Big Tin looks like right now down below. And the rifle's laxed. The bullet he was about to put into the top gets dropped, and you hear a as it falls into the inside of the cocoon. He is out of it. Incapacitated. Charmed. Nice. Anything else, Big Tin?
That's it.
That's
Still
it.
watching.
Then from the top, part of the platform falls away, and you see that figure above. He stares down, still seeing you, Schnozzboop. Reaches out, and I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Is this a magical situation?
Yes.
Oof.
How magical?
Level 5.
Oh,
It's a 12.
12? That's a fail.
Oh no.
With the 12, Big Tin, this part of the platform falls away, comes tumbling down, hits the roof of one of the cocoons and bounces off. And you see this blackened-eyed, black-veined, pale figure reach out, a black smoke coalesce, and then shoot straight into the center of Schnozzboop's head, who then freezes and begins falling backwards. You are going to tumble the rest of the distance down and
Great,
fall
great.
slamming into the ground.
reaction?
Sure. What kind of reaction?
Catch him.
Catch him? It's going to be difficult. He's still going to take damage, like no matter what you do, because technically this would be more like a prepared action. But you give me an athletics or an acrobatics check. I need one more.
21.
21. Okay.
Can I ward him as well?
That's too much.
Okay.
I rolled poorly, though, so you're in luck. That's 4 1s out of the 9d6 I just rolled.
Good.
Okay, so that's 10, 14, 17. Yeah, I rolled really poorly for that. That's going to be 21 or 22 points of damage, reduced by half because of BT jumping and catching you. Most of this damage, it would have been worse if you hit the ground, but most of it's coming from slamming into the solid metal of BT.
Does taking that damage get me out of the freeze effect, whatever it was?
No, it won't.
It does not. Okay.
It does not. So as soon as you catch him, BT, you kind of come to a tumbling stop. He is... It's like rigor mortis. Stiffened, completely frozen. Schnozboop, you're still conscious for everything. You feel everything that just happened. You feel that pain. But you are frozen and petrified. And cannot move.
Okay.
Grab him and dive into the water.
Grab him and dive into the water. You do. The figure does not pursue. Schnozboop, your petrification remains.
Question.
Yes.
I'm petrified. Seemingly, if I know things are happening, I can still think.
Hmm.
Can I talk to Big Tin over our comms?
Yeah, you would be able to.
Well, good buddy. Thanks for the assist. Appreciate you. Maybe we just go to the ship. Let's walk all the way down river, shall we?
Yeah. I ward him as well as soon as I get the chance.
Okay. Warding him, carrying him, as you are trudging across the bottom of the river, the top of it begins to get speckled, blocking out the lights of the moons present. As the Savath Dominion scrambles their navy and starts an assault in the middle of the night. The Vazuth will be responding in kind, having heard the explosion themselves and knowing their foe at this point and what they would be doing. Respond in kind and meet them a little closer to the Vazuth side than they would want. Gets a little scary, but neither of you, Big Tin, and not so much important for you, seeing as you don't have to sleep, but neither of you will be getting rest this night. Schnozboop, you'll need to add an exhaustion. Worst of all,
Is there an exhaustion somewhere on here?
it is on there, yeah. Where exactly is it? I believe it's up by towards the conditions. Like you have to click on one of the boxes for the option to appear.
Gotcha. Okay.
Worst of all, Schnozboop, when you all arrive and get inside the same location, you are still petrified. However, we are going to talk about all that after the break, and after we talk about what Alti went through with the dream with Luce. I don't know, heist
Yay.
semi-successful?
I mean, we got back. I heisted things.
Did heist things? Oh, we'll see. Alright, back in 15, everyone.
Hello there. As a guest of the Owlbear Inn, you obviously have taste. Now, as a person of taste, have you ever thought to yourself, I need to watch an artist who also has taste, with a sense of classiness and intelligence, heightened by sitting in a leather armchair before a fireplace with shelves of books behind? Neither have I. Anyways, I happen to have an art channel called Michael How Arts here on Twitch if you want to check it out. There's drawing, chatting, and sometimes gaming. If you enjoy fantastic characters and comics, or just having someone to hang out with while doing art, you should give Michael How Arts a look-see. That's twitch.tv/Michael How Arts. And if you visit, maybe, just maybe, you'll occasionally have that artist sitting in front of a fireplace to give you a +1 to the richness and culture of your Twitch experience. Though I wouldn't count on that. But please, do stop on by. Thanks for your time, and have a wonderful day.
I'm Michael Howe, and I approve this message. Oh, you don't believe me? Well, I did this, and 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 this.
Hello, everybody.
Fine
All
store.
campaign, all I wanted was to pass wisdom saving throws, and I never do.
Even with advantage?
I have advantage. I have plus. All my feats almost have all been going into that direction. No.
Oh, that's awesome.
Consent is always important.
Agreed.
You're next.
Why am
totally
I
not dead.
so bad at this game? Jeez.
Might be genetics.
Attack first. Think never. Hey, folks.
You feel a definite pulse of magical energy as you shake his hand.
You just made a deal with the devil.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Roll a will save.
There's more up there? We have to... I fucking hate this level.
We could have been playing Valheim.
Dog, dog, dog. Save me, save me. Where are you? Get in front of me. Get in front of me. Get in front of me.
I'm coming. I was marking the cave.
Dogs. Santa. Ah! Get the dog. Help.
Hello, folks.
There. Apparently I can't remember your name at all.
Who's Ingrid?
You.
You.
Me?
Irving.
Oh.
Yes, because I can't think. Wow. Why am I having such a hard freaking time with names today?
You called me Murphy twice before we
Yeah.
even started.
Shut up, Melvin. I'm working here.
Alrighty, naked.
That's a good drawing, right? Damn right, Zach, that's good.
Good. Oh my gosh. Love it.
Thank you.
Wow.
With someone.
Wait, you just said they had a book.
That being
Yes.
said, we will.
Yes.
And then you emphasize that there is a book.
Holy! Way to catch on to that like a minute and a half late. There's books, there's diaries, there's maps.
Wait, there's a book? We have not been consistent with this at all, have we?
No.
I'm not even gonna try and pronounce most of those. Wow.
Yeah, they had a sale on apostrophes that day.
Hello, everybody.
I don't know what's really going on. Hi!
We have you on speakerphone.
I was just gonna say, this is one hell of a collect call, man. I didn't know he knew infallible relay.
Does anyone know what the rates are? I don't have that much gold.
Did you know back in the old days, in the medieval times, they used to put lanterns, hang lanterns out on front of horses to help them navigate during nighttime?
Oh.
It was the first recorded instance of satellite navigation.
I enjoyed the live action The Avatar movie.
Oh, baby Baba Luba. And burble as it came.
No!
Can I get a oh yeah?
Oh yeah?
Oh
If you're only to be addressed as you as your own person, what do I do if there's like a whole bunch of y'all?
You may use titles as, I would say, the trolls. You may use the consequences if
Okay.
you would like.
So
You
y'all
may-
is off the table.
Y'all is an abomination.
A whole bunch of y'all.
Too late.
That's when you guys look over and see what once was Jitters descend slowly onto the ground, trampling towards you as its head from top to about past the sternum splits like that into a toothy maw that is its whole body. Rawr. Hello and welcome to Hate, Laugh, Love.
Everybody knows if it's green and it's slime,
You went that
it's booger time.
The show where we talk about movies.
He starts hopping on the way, and when you look back, there's Handor and Grace. Grace looking just frowning perpetually, and Handor just smiling ever so gracefully. And Finestorm, you see on their lips, Handor say, "You think they'll make it?" And Grace go, "Not a chance." Welcome back, everyone. We are back. Having to rewind a couple of hours to cover a dream that Ultian is being assisted in. You're laid down in a comfortable bed in some place, and Julian is beside you. I have someone on her side doing the same to her. But for this to work, you need to be put to sleep magically and then inserted into a dream. It doesn't have to be the ones that you have. It could be designed in some fashion by the people in it, not by those casting the spell. So once you're there, you can mold it to the ways you like. As will Luce. She will be able to as well.
Okay. Let's do this.
Very well. I will put you in a sort of a waiting room. Relax your mind. He utters a few words in a language you don't know, taps you in the forehead, and your eyes flash, or your sight flashes white, and then clears in kind of a misting sand formation to what you would easily presume to be a sand dwelling of some kind. Around you is sandstone, very carefully put in hardened surfaces, and a simple door. Small, quaint, nothing else to it.
Yeah, I'll go in.
Entering through, you can already see Luce's looking around with a fascinated face. The images of what you're observing are shifting and changing, like sands being manipulated into shapes, as she is looking and playing around with the capabilities of her mind in this dreamscape. Altheon, this is magnificent.
Very strange.
Well, if it was something I could do, I might actually enjoy sleeping.
How's it going on your end?
Significantly better. Our last acquisition has caused them to pull back. The Senate and those corporations on their side are fortifying. They're beginning to wait for us. I think we might be able to actually engage them in some negotiations again. Possibly see an end to this, although I know they won't agree with our terms.
They'll have to.
They don't need to, you know. We don't have to bring it back to the table. We could see this through.
We try our best to make peace, and if we can't, then that's when we do it.
Ultimately, through peace they remain alive. What other things?
I'm gonna be gone for longer than I thought. There's something bigger that needs to get done, or else everything we're doing now doesn't matter. And yes, I don't want them alive any more than you, but there might come a time where we can use them, and then we'll get rid of them.
I honestly never thought something so Grantinian could leave your mouth.
Things have to get done, one way or the other. I'm sending you money to help with the rebuild of Zellum.
It'll be put to good use, you know that. Where are you off to?
The archipelago of the gods.
The archipelago? That's a suicide mission, Ortine. Why would you go there?
There's some sort of disease spreading up north here. It's getting worse. Sooner or later, it will reach the Senate.
Well, then keep me informed. And
You
be
do the
careful.
same.
Nothing good comes from the archipelago. And people rarely come out of it. I know people say no one comes out, but we all know survivors always live. That sentence makes sense, I promise.
Well, I'm not normal people. And neither are you. Crush them if you have to. But you can use them.
See what I can do. The political field of Grantina is harder than the battlefield, surprisingly enough.
One other thing. The war up here, they're using routine and tech, of course, but it got me thinking. We need to reinforce ourselves. Get ready for something, whatever it is.
We're ready as enforced in our northern front as we can be. What we need to do is solidify our position and actually start negotiations with the Kingdom of Balashtar as well. If we can legitimize ourselves with their help, then we have even more standing against Savath whenever we have to deal with them. You do make a fair point, though.
I will see you soon.
Even in a dream, you still wear the mask. Well, if that's all you're willing to give me of these more important things than the civil war of your home country, I have some paperwork I need to see to before I can actually get some real sleep.
Good luck.
Thanks. Same to you. I'll tell Francis he said hello. He's not going to be happy, by the way. She's turned around and started walking back to her waiting room. He likes his battle buddy.
When I wake up, I'm going to immediately check on Sazboop's room.
It's empty.
I am going to sit on his bed and wait for him.
About an hour and a half after you start sitting on his bed and waiting for him, you hear a very loud explosion. Some alarm bells start going off. And upon taking examination, there is a big plume of smoke coming from the other side of the river. And you can see that they are beginning to mobilize in some form or fashion.
I'm just gonna wait for him.
Just gonna wait. With your investigation in this area, there will be the occasional misfire of weaponry getting shot your direction, having to kind of stay a little bit inside cover to remain out of the battle that soon encompasses the surrounding area. But Teffy, your door is knocked on in the middle of a sleep, rudely waking you up.
I will get up and groggily answer it.
In what fashion?
Hello?
Just calling out or
Oh.
opening up the door?
No, I'll get up and I'll put on my like old-timey sleep robe, which just I happen to have with me, and like one of those brass candlestick holders and a sleep hat with a
Sleep
pom-pom
hat.
on the end. Yeah, you know, like bunny
Scrooge.
slippers. Exactly.
Scrooge style.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
And I'll just open up the door and just kind of grunt at whoever's there. Not even a hello, just a
It's Julian. Who's it? Oh, I'm very sorry about the late hour. There's been a few changes of plans. Something's happened on the other side of the banks that has caused your ride to be leaving within 30 minutes. Do you know where Schnorzboop and Big Tin are?
Do I look
Oh, not sure.
like I would know where anyone is right now?
I don't
I have just
know.
been sleeping.
Oh.
No, Julian, I don't know where anyone is.
Oh, very well.
I'll go check their rooms, I suppose.
No, I'll check. Just be on the 4th tree, ready for departure in 30 minutes.
30 minutes, 4th tree. Alright. She'll nod and, like, rub the sleep from her eyes. And then she'll, like, just start pulling weapons out of her sleep clothes as she shuts the door and then changes into her day clothes. And then puts the weapons back.
Alti, and you hear a knock on the other side, or to the door for the room on the other side of the one you're in, your room. You hear, Altian. Is Altian away as well?
In here.
Opens up your door, Schnorzboop's door. What are you doing waiting in Schnorzboop's room? I saw him sneak out. I thought he was just... What has he done?
I think we both know, but I'm assuming it's time to leave.
Yes, it's time to leave.
I'll pack his things.
Oh, this is going to be a lot more paperwork again. I take it you don't know where Big Tin is?
I think we both know where Big Tin is.
Yes, I think we do.
Curiosity, the cat and all that.
He just grunts
That's
and starts
profiling.
I'm gonna pack up Snozboof's stuff and then grab my backpack because I haven't unpacked anything, and wait for Taffy.
Heffy emerges, fully prepared for the day. Or for the journey, rather. For the waking hours. And doesn't really say much, just kind of grabs Altian and tugs him towards the 4th tree.
I follow.
You follow. Big Tin carrying Schnorzboop. You eventually find yourself deeper into these trees. Many of them are, like the riverbanks, they don't stop where the trees are. They actually expand over some of the trees. And despite being so close to the saltwater and having saltwater really kind of filter through, diffuse through this as well, they're still surviving magnificently, even surrounded by this water.
One might say.
But finding yourself on more solid ground, you will... What do you do? What do you do from there? You're more on solid ground towards the northern area of the city itself. You can see that there was a dock that's emptied at this point of ships, except for one. There's still one ship there, but there's also no way up at this point, because all the ways up into the city itself have been withdrawn.
Do I know what the boat is? What the boat we're supposed to be on is?
No. This boat is a peculiar one, though. It doesn't meet any of the schematics you have inside any of your databases.
Oh, we'll make for that boat.
Make for that boat. And for convenience sake, Ultian and Teffy, the two of you, arrive at that boat as Big Tin is walking onto the docks, carrying a rigged schnozzboob who looks like he was on the side of something clutching it, but now is just like dangling from the jaws of Big Tin.
Again with this one being turned to living stone. Teffy has a flashback to the carousel killer, and just kind of rolls her eyes a little bit.
I forgot about that.
Let's leave him until it just wears off naturally, yes?
What if it doesn't?
We'll see in 24 hours.
That's a problem for later. I was just woken up. I was dreaming about honey. And I'm gonna do that again once we have liftoff.
What is your obsession with bees?
Don't worry about it. I just think they're neat.
They're all the buzz.
Oh my goodness.
Both of you on the boat.
This boat looks funny. You're all used to wooden boats. Even those flying boats were made of wood, and you saw the inside had those stones that made them float. A unique design maybe, but still made of wood. This one's made of entirely metal. It's longer and skinnier than most of the others. It has this strange domed object at the top that seems to be able to pivot from side to side with these two long barrels pointing out the front that reach roughly about 10 feet in length and are quite wide. The rear of it, in the center, there's a construction of what looks to be several different kinds of rooms piled and stacked on top of each other. And in the rear, there's a very large double-gated metal hatch that seems to be able to open outwards. And all along the sides, there are these domed and metallic nests that you can see will, under fire, have people will hop into them with weaponry of their own, use them as cover, and fire from them. But the deck is abuzz with a bunch of people shouting in a language that none of you would have would understand. They all have these military uniforms of more of a greenish blue hue to it. It's more embroidered. There are these bars along the left side, the different formalities that you're not accustomed to seeing over here in the Iridyne continent. But you see the first mate, he sees you all arrive, stops his shouting at some of the seamen. Ah, yes, if you don't mind getting down below, there should be actually... You! Yes, take these people to the guest quarters. Unfortunately, your steel predator won't be able to fit. It's far too large.
I can stand on the deck.
What happened to him? Pointing at Schnozzboob.
He'll tell us when he wakes up, I'm sure.
Huh. Very well. Private, if you don't mind helping out with that, the gnome, and stay on deck. Very well, you can certainly. We'll be departing soon. As soon as the conflict out there settles and they all go back into their dockyards, we'll be leaving. Better take the opportunity of them already being exhausted from fighting. Less likely of being chased. We hope.
All right, well, I'm just gonna try and stay out of the way or help out if asked.
You're escorted down, and BT, you're given a spot that is out of the way, closer towards the bow of the ship. But Schnorsboop is put down in what looks to be a rough cot. Still, arms sprawled out even though he's on his back. Just completely locked. The Philemon starts buzzing around his head and poking at his forehead, like, whoop, boop, boop, boop.
He's awake. Well, he can't do anything. What if I picked his nose?
He gently tickles the edge of your nasal. I'm like,
that's gross, actually. I don't think I will.
Boop, boop. Continues poking your forehead. A strange buzzing starts coming from the ship. And you can feel movement begin. The rest of the night continues with you being told to stay inside the quarters. Sunlight will eventually come around, and Schnorsboop, after 8 hours, your limbs come back under your own control.
Question: could I sleep in that?
You
Can I turn my brain
could.
off?
You technically could, yes.
Okay. Well, I assume I would have done that at some point. I'll wake up still pretty tired, I assume, from being all
It would be,
stiff.
if anything, the equivalency of a short rest for you. So you'll still have
Cool.
that exhaustion, and you'll be able to do like hit dice to regain hit points back.
Cool. Anybody in the room when I wake up?
Yeah. Teffy and Oltian would be inside the room, and Philemon, who's poking at your left ear. And Oltian, as Schnorsboop's limbs drop, you can see this black, almost ooze-like substance dripping out of his left ear.
Well, that was uncomfortable. Philemon, great job. He gives him a little fist bump.
Good job to you. I blew up one of their ships.
Whoa.
Had a
That's
lot
impressive.
of explosives in it.
Whoa.
And they put a candle, right above it. It was one floor up, sure, but the floors are easy to make disappear.
Well said, well said. Well, how'd the dream sequence go for you, Oltian?
About as well as expected.
Anything of note?
There might be a chance to come to some sort of peace agreement with the different factions, but I'm not holding out hope.
Peace. One must always hope for peace. Well, I'm still quite tired, but I have some very interesting things to show you when I wake back up. And Schnorsboop's just gonna roll over and go to sleep.
Peppy stirs and wakes when Snozzboop does. She took the opportunity to finish out her long rest. And then she is going to fixate on the books about the Advancer, the Behemoth, and the Crawler that she took from that research lab in Zellum, just to see if there's anything interesting in there.
Okay. Which one are you focusing on first?
The Behemoth, because I got volumes 1, 2, and 3, whereas the other two designs, I took the first, penultimate, and the last books in the series.
Nice. Okay. The Behemoth. For this time, you can
you can go through one of the volumes. Give me an investigation check.
That is not a D20.
Investigation.
Okay. That's going to be at 21 there, Chief.
21.
E.
So this book is written in a research format. It states the myth, what is believed to be true, what is known to be false and wrong. Oh, because it's the Mr. Dot Chicken. That's why you put Dot Chicken. And
I'm outraged.
I don't know why it did that. That one's confusing to me. Still, it serves well. That bot has saved me so much pressure. It's just annoying it doesn't work that well. Anyway, in that sense, it works well for what I need it to work for.
You could do it like this, maybe. Hold on. Chicken.
Just gotta take out the period. There's no .com.
There's no .com. Yeah, that's the thing. That's why this one's confusing here.
Oh.
Yeah, and one of the fake email addresses I was goofing about the other day was,
that has a
was
.com.
not .com either. It did not have a .com. It was
I
.your
saw
mama.
.com. I
It
saw
was
dot
.your
something.
mama.
Oh well, whatever. It works. It still saves me the bots. The book, though, your behemoth with the 21, all the information you get from it is more on the what has been told through the eras and how it's evolved. Like, there's the possibilities that it's not even a behemoth. It was just stated as one because of the grand powers behind the singular individual. There's a theorized portion of it where this individual is just a person, but they held so much power around the entirety of Nathriel that he was known as the Behemoth because of how capable he was, or they were possibly even.
I thought these books were about the Altian Mobile and similar vessels.
Similar
the Advanced
vessels.
The Behemoth and the Crawler.
Whoops.
But if they're not, cool.
No, this
We
one
learn new
apparently.
things.
This one's different. So that's not from the vehicle ones are not from a lab. They're from the manufacturing location. No, kind of lab. There was a lab. I'm thinking gene lab though. When you say labs, I'm not thinking the modern ones, which those have very different kinds of lore. So 21 for that. The vehicle, the behemoth. It's a giant death machine. I mean, what are you looking for on this? It's got capabilities of melting a city, basically by itself. Should it be properly built. Requires 8 arcanists just to power it for roughly 10 minutes. But in that 10 minutes, it could destroy probably half of Zellum. For a size comparison, and Zellum's a small city. And with Grantinian cities being tiered, all you have to do is get one of those in the center of it and have it start firing outwards. And everything will start collapsing inwards.
Fascinating. Ooh.
Giant death machine. That's why I don't like this one. It gets so loud randomly.
Okay, that's what Tevi does.
After a while, a few more hours pass by. It's maybe getting closer to brunch time. You are all told you can depart. Big Tin, the sun's come up, you've been sailing away. There was a chance that a ship was following, but it was lost quickly. This ship you're on is fast. It's quick. And the thing to note, it doesn't need the wind. It projects itself. And you're not sensing any arcane mana behind it. The first mate will saddle up next to you after a while. The hound's been told they can leave their cabins. How do you like it? Pleasure's grace. That's what the captain's called her.
I'm just gonna nod.
Oh, this is to BT. You're not up just yet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
No, you're good. You're good.
How does it move?
The contraptions down below, inside the depths of the device, thing. It's still technically information that we're not giving out. However, it's a thing created by the Charlotte Estates in Andrea. All it requires is a little fuel and it moves.
Quite impressive.
Ingenuity. It's quite brilliant. Now the rest of you are finding your way to the deck. Crisp, cold air. BT and the first mate standing at the bow.
Taffy will stand as far as possible from any edge. She's paler than usual, like a powder blue. And she is going to be nervously fidgeting with the crick decks.
Ah, here they are. Apologies about having to sequester you all into a cabin for a while. We needed to make sure that we had the deck to ourselves. Chatty bunch.
No, I was waiting for Snazboop.
I'm still asleep, aren't I?
Oh, we could say you're awake at this point.
Oh. Okay. Well, this is an interesting contraption you have here. How long does it take to get to where we're going?
Well, that depends on where we're going. I have a vague idea of what the lieutenant has planned out, considering what you've proposed to them already. However, that's not in my privy just yet. And she hasn't gotten back. Sorted the defense as well.
We'll just leave it at that then. If the lieutenant hasn't said, the lieutenant hasn't said. Am I right? I have made a potentially interesting discovery. At this point, Snopsup's going to take out the papers from his bag and just start sort of spreading them out. And we'll cast old comprehend languages to be able to read them.
So as you're spreading them out, Teffy, you can see they're written in Vesuth. You can read that language.
I can.
You
I
can.
mean, yes, of course I can.
It's your native. It's your native home territory. That's your language.
Okay, sick. Then Teffy's just gonna have a perusal as they're being spread out.
For perusal, casting comprehend languages. These are a lot of documents for speaking back and forth to the movements and supplies for the city and for what they have. The first mates, I don't understand most of the languages here. Which one is this?
This
I
one's
don't know.
Vesuv.
Vesuv. And where did you say you got these?
Well, they were gotten from what I believe to be a Vesuthian commander's office.
He gets a bit of a sly grin. Ah. Okay. What do they say? Sifting through, you catch the supplies. There is one document in here that's going to be more important. It's the reading through it a couple of times just to make sure. It's not very clearly stated, but after examination, you're sure that this document is confident that they can keep distracting the Vesuthian forces at Zonio. And it's the distracting. That's the bit that has to be clarified. They view this as a distraction to the Vesuth forces.
Zanyo is where we just left. Right?
That's where you just left, yeah.
So, if Zonyo is on the Vesuth side of the river, why would the opposing armies' paperwork be in Vesuthian?
Because Savoth was part of the Vesuth, they rebelled against the Vesuth and technically have the same language.
Okay.
It's just been so long going that, and the Savoth has claimed so much territory, they're being recognized as a separate entity now. They are still technically, were it not for the war going on, part of the Vesuth Republic. The Grantinian Civil War is technically the second civil war to break out.
Gotcha. So these were taken from a Savoth office, Savoth commander, not a Vesuth. Okay.
Yep.
So this one here seems to say, or imply strongly, that the siege of Zanio, is that how I say that right?
Yeah.
Zanio?
Yeah.
Is only a distraction, seemingly for something else that I have not been able to parse through from this paperwork. Ultian, any thoughts?
Is there any languages on there that only I know?
Just the Vesuth. You can give me an investigation check through the pile of paperwork if you'd like.
Cocked die. There we go. Not great. 14.
14.
Was it after going through it, the initial one through? I would also like to look for secret codes.
Secret codes. Okay, yeah. Would you like to give Ultian advantage?
Yeah.
I also would like to look for secret codes, as this is my native tongue. I would be able to catch out on any, strange word choices.
Word choices? Okay, then you give me a separate investigation check.
Investigation?
Yep.
25.
25. Delightful. What's Teffy's here?
21 again.
21 again.
17 on the die.
Ooh, delightful. For the 21, there are a few characters. Like the characters like A, B, C, D, that kind of characterization. There are a few characters that have alterations to them. And when you see it, it's not a deliberate alteration, it's an ink bleed. There was an impression already on the page, and when his quill came across that, some of the ink bled across that impression. And pointing it out first to Ultian, who got a 25 on his and could see a little bit more deeply, you can catch the impressions underneath.
getting something or going about your process, we'll include it in the 25, you can replicate what is impressed, and it's not a language you understand. It's not even
This is a
Vesuvian.
language anyone understands.
Schnozboop, you cast comprehend
Tell me where it
languages,
is.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, if you tell Schnozboop, you did cast a
Oh, of course I do.
a spell. There's, as you're handing the piece of paper to Schnozboop, and Schnozboop, you're looking at it, and these strange script are making sense to you. Ultine, there's something you realize. It looks very familiar to the strange scribbles on Schnozboop's lute. And Schnozboop,
I'm going to literally grab Snozboop's loot off of his person and compare.
And
Not
compare?
gonna ask.
Schnozboop. When the loot's presented in front of you, it's no longer decorated by these ornate designs. It's got this weird... Sorry, everyone just punched the mic. This weird readability to it, like texts that's been stretched out and elongated. Nothing that would make too much sense without understanding it's also a magical. It's a ritual. Give me an Arcana check.
Yeah, that's a fair number here. 24?
24? It's some kind of binding spell on your lute. The one you're looking at that's been depicted by Ultine, though, is... It's not a kind of magic you're familiar with. If you're reading it correctly, it's something that would summon something. But it's not quite the same as summoning spells that you're used to. You're all used to, like, feline creatures or, like, these weird little real creatures of your realm not coming from other places. But this has a portion of it that's calling to a place that doesn't exist. Like it's pulling from that location, but like calling a dead number. If you're calling a dead number, you're not going to get anything in return.
Interesting. Okay. So, this paperwork, pointed paperwork, code here seems to be a summoning spell of some kind for something or someplace that doesn't exist. This, pointing at his lute, is some kind of binding spell. It is strange to me that it is in the same language, as I suspect that those demony individuals that we had the unfortunate of meeting, it's possible that this is some sort of part of their attempt to get into this plane, which seems bad, and proposes, by that knowledge, that the Vezuth are somehow in cahoots with those individuals. Ulti, and you're the schemer. Thoughts?
Taking a second to review everything, I'm gonna say,
I don't think I have enough evidence to speculate. We have one symbol on one piece of paper.
Is Cinder with us? Because he was supposed to be accompanying us to the archipelago.
You're not sure. The first mate's right there, you can ask him.
Okay, I will turn to the first mate. Have you happened to see Cinder? Fire Ganassi, very sort of
Angry all the time?
I was looking for a nicer way to put it, but
Oh.
yes.
We're on
more
a-
of a stoic sort.
He's down below. He says he doesn't like the open air.
Can't say that I blame him. It's odd to be far from the ground.
He
Teffy will
kicks the ground
go
a
on.
couple of times. It's right below our feet.
That's a floor, that's not the ground. The ground is the ground. Teffy's just gonna leave and go find Cinder and bring him up to look at these weird papers.
He behaves exactly like Teffy does when getting up on deck. Stays in the center. His flames kind of die down a bit, and he looks the equivalency of his paler than normal, which is basically less fire raging around him at all times. Very carefully stepping in the center. It almost looks like he wants to be on all fours and wants to crawl your direction, but is forcing himself to stay on his 2 feet. He gets within 15 feet of the bow and refuses to get any closer. Alright, what is it you want?
So since it's come to light that you're a bit more experienced, shall we say, than we had previously thought, I was wondering if you knew anything about this script. Teffy will show the notes page. Or if you know about any sort of interdimensional tentacle beardy people trying to break in, since you've done this whole planetary go-round before.
Oh, it's the demon thing. It's a script they write. I don't know what it's called.
So you're familiar with the concept of interdimensional tentacle beardy people?
Yep. These ones in particular, they try it every time. It's one of the signs that we use at the end where the start is beginning. They start arriving.
So is this something that we should be concerned about at this point?
To a degree. By this point, they've usually already come through. But they continue trying. It's more a sign of the weakening of veils. They start being more capable to come here. We start being more capable to depart. The problem is departing never goes to the same place, and coming here never comes to the same place. We don't do it ourselves. We have only operated through reports of what's been given through us through the cycles. And I don't mean iridine year cycles. I mean Nathriel cycles. Renditions, I guess, is another word of it.
So, it's some sort of summoning spell? Are they trying to summon themselves to here? Or vice versa?
That won't work here. Key components are blocked out. Means and ways I can't explain. But this place, you won't recognize it, but it does exist. Normally this would work, but it doesn't here. They need another component for it. A breaking in the veil. They usually appear in like the scene in front of you is a fabric that's rippable. It goes into a void of some kind, and again reports through the renditions. Not fun, very violent, difficult to maneuver. I don't know what else.
I mean, as far as I know, you've pretty much covered it.
given that their script is on this here document from a Vasuth's commander, would you posit that they are in cahoots?
Yeah, I think it'd be a safe assumption there. I mean, you can't really take them all as in cahoots. Once they're over here, they usually split into factions of their own. Just because something is coming from that location doesn't make them evil or bad. Well, actually, evil is still debatable. Alan's from there. He's not from here. He's from a different place.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That makes sense, actually, given that he wants to buy people's souls and all. Nice guy, though.
Yeah, don't agree. He can actually do that. If you agree to that, he will actually own your soul.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on it. Thanks, though.
Okay. Good. But he actually does a lot of good stuff for the town, so you could capitulate that they're... Capitulate, that's not the word. Postulate, there we go. Postulate that they're working with them, but it could be that someone's just found a seat of power and is acting out on it.
We'll have to gain more intel.
Yes, very good. Question. This is for the mate. First mate, does the ship or anyone on it have the capabilities to contact the mainland and or Julian?
He's looking up at the sky back towards the mainland where they've sailed directly west away from. Yes, and she's just about to arrive back. You hear a slight creaking of metal on the other side of the ship. Would you like me to fetch her as soon as she's landed?
Oh, yes, please. Thank you.
Oh, go do so. He starts walking towards the back.
Did you say we're flying west?
You're not flying, she is. You see a small dot in the sky flying through the air.
We're still in the water.
You're still in the water.
Oh.
Yeah. You were
Check is
heading
not this
directly
bad, then.
west. She's flying west towards you. It
Gotcha.
looks like a flying suit of metal with these large metal apparatuses attached to the back. The whole thing is glowing with a soft light. Then it disappears out of your sight as it levels out just above and then lowers down to where the ship is, and there's probably where that big hatch was in the back. You guys still need me up here? I hate the open water.
Thanks, Cinder. I do appreciate you. Feel free to find your best course of action.
He turns around and immediately starts heading towards the lower decks again.
So, what are we doing?
While we're waiting for the lieutenant.
Why are we waiting for the lieutenant?
Well, that's an interesting question. Philemon, do you have a way to contact our friend Julian?
Give me a percentile dice.
Oh boy. 46.
46?
No. I don't think so.
Fair enough. Well, then that is why we're waiting for the lieutenant, because reportedly, she can.
That's handy.
Yes.
Lieutenant comes up. Her uniform is a little wrinkled in some places, but still in good, fine order, and she's smiling with a beaming smile and is no longer wearing that makeup. And you can see these, what looks to be tattooed lines going across her face. Approaches you all.
Huh.
Ah, hello. I understand one of you all is who we have to thank for the excitement last night.
An audible creak from my neck as I crane my head down towards Snozboop.
What?
Thanks.
Anyways, we've got these interesting documents here.
I enjoy
acquired
interesting documents.
Let's just say that they were acquired. And they have some supplies information for the Vazuth, but more importantly, it says that the siege of Zanio is only a distraction for something else, and so I just wanted to let Julian in the mainland know that. I was told that you might be able to pass that along. Is that something could happen?
Yeah. Hang on. It's going to take a while.
Sure.
About 10 minutes later, a hawk seems to materialize around her arm.
Hey, buddy, how you doing? This is
Well,
Gustav.
that is delightful. Hello, Gustav.
He's an oath beast. If you don't know anything about those, then you should ask a Quaylen when you ask. Or an Aramathan. Alright. Let me get a good look at these things. Okay. So...
And you said that hawk materialized?
Yeah, materialized.
Did you just get the papers? Or did you get anything else?
Well, the papers were acquired. Along with being acquired, some diamonds were acquired as well. Snozboop will show the diamonds in case they're special for some reason.
They're not the diamonds.
Okay.
You could, if you had, do you have, oh, what are they called? Jeweler's kit?
No. I don't have that.
If you had one of those, you'd be able to examine and see where those were manufactured or cut.
Oh. Ultine, do you have that sort of thing?
No.
Shame.
Diamonds weren't something that I went after when stealing.
Too high profile?
Not in my interests.
Okay. Where'd Private Johnson go? Private Johnson.
Private Johnson.
One of them turns.
I got a Private Johnson.
Hey. One of them turns and runs up. Yes, Mum.
I am in need of your slivery trick.
Oh, right. Yes, ma'am. He pulls out a bottle from underneath his coat and uncorks it. Puts a finger up to her head and pulls away, and this sliver of light comes out from her forehead. Dangles from his middle finger, and he puts it into the valve of the glass bottle, corks it again.
Whoop. Always uncomfortable.
Would have been a spell by chance.
That would be a spell. It's a I think it. Hang on, it might be a cantrip.
Oh, that's a cantrip. That's beautiful.
Yeah. Let me double check.
Boop-a-doop-boop-boo. Oh, come on now. Of course, she's not going to let me check inside there because it's inside the wrong bloody browser. Come on.
Sorry.
I have gotten into Glenn Miller kick again. Okay, it's not loading on there. Maybe... Oh, fine. I'll just do a general search. It's a cantrip.
Okay. Well, let's see what the dice say today.
Oh, I'm thinking of the wrong one. The one I'm thinking of is a cantrip, though. I know that. It's easy to do. It's just wrong title.
Okay, that's one success. That's two successes.
Even if it turns out to be a level 1, you still got it, yeah. This is a spell that will capture up to 60 seconds of memories inside a single sliver. It lasts up to 8 hours, if I'm getting the correct one. If not, then we're making a new spell, and this is it now.
Is it a spell or a cantrip?
Cantrips are technically spells.
Yes, I know, but I'm looking at my slots.
Cantrip. It will be a cantrip. Cantrip level.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
This one of those, every cantrip is a spell, but not every spell is a cantrip.
Yeah. Yeah. It's one of those. Yeah. Ah, the difficulties. Spell casting. It's a wonder.
Save 60 seconds.
Up to 60 seconds.
For 8 hours.
And it'll last for 8 hours, yeah.
Do you have to put it in anything?
It needs to be contained inside something. Usually a glass container, glass vial of some kind. Contained or immediately used. One of those
I can
two.
see some other things about this, but... Contained digitally?
I'll have to think on that one. I'll have to ponder it in a bit more detail. But the vial is quickly slipped into a holster around the hawk's limbs and she launches him up. He starts flying back towards mainland.
Ah, I love those creatures.
Well,
the excitement all happened and you got on board. I believe you owe me an explanation. What you doing? Why are you here? And don't tell me it's for the bees again, because I know that was a lie.
Sure. Perhaps we should go into quarters of some kind.
Unless you want this big, wonderful guy. Oh, unless you're willing for me to shrink you down a little bit.
Oh, he's muted again.
That's a Big 10?
That's a Big 10, yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's thinking. It's like, No?
No? Okay.
I wouldn't mind learning the spell, but no.
Maybe later. If you wanna, we can. You know what?
Can
I
I
have
see
another
into
idea.
the room?
I have another place we can go. You can't poke around. Come on.
Follow it.
She takes you back to the double hatches in the back, which start opening up, and she hops down inside.
Down here.
Hmm.
That way Big Ten can actually join us. And it's private.
You do it.
Follow it.
Carefully. Going down, it is a larger storage room from the looks of it, but in the center, well, around there are a bunch of different tools of kinds to work on various kinds of what you would think as arc-tech, or even just general machinery. But in the center is a metallic suit that has what looks to be these metal wings extended outward. It's larger than most. BT, it's maybe about twice your size itself, and the very opening is, or the front of it is opened up, separated. Looks to have the capability of someone climbing inside. With the top doors shut down, or shut, after you all, and you can feel a general energetic buzz start around. More so for Schnorzboop and Big Tin, who have more of an arcane sense than you other two. They can cast more spells.
Julian helped us hook up this place. It's actually one of the reasons we met him. Silented and everything. Silenced. Calm and tone.
Wonderful.
Weird.
So, the reason for this adventure. We recently, discovered that there are primordial beings in Nathriel. And they seem to be on some kind of continuous time loop restart thing. But they're in factions and they're warring sort of amongst themselves. Anywho's, we had information that they were trying to either stop the loop or restart it. And then a restarted loop would mean, back to the beginning of Nathriel, as I understand it, or just the end of Nathriel in the second case. So we are attempting to just have the line continue, if that makes sense. And in order to do that, we need to go and stop potentially a primordial that is in the archipelago of the gods. So that's where we're going there. Sound good? I didn't hear anything you said. If you said something.
Sounds fun. Like, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a hoot. What do you know about the archipelago?
People don't come back from there. That's pretty much the only thing I know about it. Would I know anything additionally, given my age?
That's probably about it.
Okay, that's what I figured.
For the most part, like for centuries now, people have just been avoiding it.
Do you have more information on that?
No, it's about the same over down south as well. We have to sail around it to get to Iridai. I do know some people in it, though. And we do dabble on occasion. More so, I say we. I don't anymore. It's more something my father and mother do. The realm is a place that they keep a better eye on. I never asked why, and I never cared to. They always told me to avoid it. So, how soon are we going in?
As soon as we can get there, as far as I know.
Great. Do you have a specific spot?
Unfortunately, no, as far as I'm aware. Did Cinder didn't have a better idea, correct? Looking to Teffy.
No, he did not. But the thing about the bees was not a total lie. I do want to see them while we're there. Because that's kind of my whole thing.
Oh, we could start there. We can get in touch with our contact, actually, if we do.
Sounds
Alright,
like a good starting spot.
That's as good a place as any.
Great.
Yeah.
I'll let the captain know. It'll be about what do you call them? A line? A line before we get to the place of entry.
Oh, very good.
I could use another nap if I'm being honest.
Looks like all of you can. Wow.
I'm good. I'm super susceptible to other people yawning.
I get that.
That
yeah.
being curiosity question, Lieutenant. Was that from your father, or are you a Creed person?
Yo, heavens no. Creed, are you mad? I enjoy saying y'all, we, and us way too much.
I mean, I can't blame you. The y'all, we, and us is the centerpiece of friendship, I always say.
It's the centerpiece of the common language. Y'all are nuts if you think I'm going to give up that word. I hate that word so much.
Well,
I don't
So
like
I suppose you get it from your father then.
Yeah, good guess. How'd you know?
Well, I read the book.
Oh, you're not, like, one of his followers, are you?
I'm not sure who is in this subject line, but no.
Oh, good. Right.
I'm just about peace and friendship myself.
Oh, you probably follow Adi then. Adi or
no.
What's his facey? The one who's always full of love. You don't seem his type, though. Do you follow
No, I do not. I do not. It seemed strange, especially given the book from your father. It seems as though they're just individuals who have more power than I do currently. It seemed strange to treat them differently than another person. That being said, if I met them, I sure would want to be their friends as always.
Yeah, that's kind of what they sound like. I mean, and given his... Apparently, 2 of his old comrades turned into gods.
You see?
One of the Creed being one of them.
Oh. Have you met them?
Oh yeah. There's a whole city of them where I'm from.
How is that?
I don't go there.
Oh.
Being a tourist there is rough. You got to get a special visa card and go through training in order to even enter.
Is it worth it once you get in?
You can ask the first mate. He's gone.
Ooh, I definitely will. I'm very curious about that.
My father's gone too. All he said was, let's see if I can get this right. That's it. That's all he said about it.
Ultian. Sounds like you guys could be friends.
I'm not even paying attention to what's going on. Sorry.
I am not even paying attention to what's going on anymore.
Well, the lieutenant said that her father said about the city that had the Creed people, and then I said that you guys could be friends, because that's how you respond to things often, Ultian. It is a funny comparison. You see, you see, you see.
You're right. I
Lieutenant.
can see it. I can see the comparison. Yeah, yeah. It's almost the same kind of grunt, but there's more affirmation, I guess, behind my father's grunts.
Yeah, yeah.
Less crunchy, I'd assume, as well.
Yeah, there's no voice box for it.
Yeah. Well, this has been a delightful chat. Any questions from any parties?
Yeah, while we're chatting, you said that 2 of your father's compatriots turned into gods. What happened to the rest of them?
One runs and owns a real large conglomerate? I don't know. You can find her bakery in every town in Andrea. It's great. Whenever I'm in the town Vilt, I always make sure I pay a visit. She's doing quite well. I don't know where the other one is. He roams. He travels a lot. Joined a band. Got a little famous. You might have heard of them over here. Have you heard of, I can't remember what he called them. Jardis
Luckily.
or Gartison family?
What did he call them? Just G-A-B. Gab.
Oh, that's right, Gab. It's Gartus and...
His parents.
Band?
Gartus and Band. Probably just Gartus and Band. Yeah, they abbreviate to Gab. Have you, or Jab? Gab, I think it's Gab.
I think I may have come across some of their chord progressions. Very fun, very fun.
Yeah, it's pretty lighthearted. It's because of them, though, I'm more inclined to believe your story here.
Oh,
Apparently,
really?
they've been to other places. No, can't get the full story out of them. A place called the Fey Realm. You ever heard of that?
Teffy, you were just speaking of that.
I have heard of it, but I'm not well versed on what exactly it contains or what it's like. But I bet they have some good bees.
Oh. Your mind is going to be blown by these bees. They're so good. And the honey they
At-home
make.
drinking game for everyone watching Twitch. Drink every time bees come up in conversation.
Which is constantly.
You will be dead before the episode is through.
Mm-hmm.
They will be pumping your stomach within the hour.
Well. Hey, Ulysses, I got a lot I gotta take care of. I gotta get the captain on the right track, a course planned out, and correspondence to be sent. I'll let you know what Julian says about the information we've given him. It's gonna be helpful, by the way. Yeah, that's it. Unless you guys got questions.
Very good, very good. I don't have any questions at this point. Maybe once we get closer in.
Okay. Well, you best get away from out of my lab. I have work to do.
Very good. Thank you, Lieutenant.
You're welcome, Snowsboop.
Snowsboop is directly going to go back to sleep. Still tired.
I'm using the material I got to make those medium sticks o' dynamite.
Medium sticks o' dynamite. Let's transpire the whole line and get us to the point of entering into the archipelago. Travel quite south, or south for quite a ways after traveling west for nearly a whole day. Very far away from the mainland. You're at a point where you're off the map now, and there is no map I can give you because the archipelago has never been mapped. It would be just a giant map of white cloud. You get to the point of entry, The ship is pointed the right direction. You're a few minutes from the mist, so you're trudging forward.
What is the
It-
date upon
It
reaching
would
the
be
mist?
3/6/10/566.
Yep. Three, 6, 10, 5, 66.
Are we stopping in that city first?
No. No, they do not have plans to stop in the city.
Oh.
They are supplied for journey through. And from all the information they were given, it's getting into the archipelago as quickly as possible. Unless you all want to try to, or want to pay a visit to the city of Yondo.
I think it would be good for us, for like research purposes, to stop in and see what exactly happened here.
Step into the city of Yondo, see what happens.
It's
Okay.
on the way.
Yeah, it's on the way, especially
on the way.
since we're going around this way.
Then let's do that first. Let's get around
Okay,
to that
so-
point.
What date is it now then?
It'll take away 1 day.
Okay,
One
so
solar.
3/5/10.
Yep. It'll be 3, 5, 10. Because it'll be roughly about the same approach. Most of those ocean side is still controlled by the Grantinian Senate and what corporations are fighting against the rebels. So it's not friendly territory. So you gotta be a little careful. A few days into the journey, we're actually gonna we'll actually close off at the point of arriving closer to the town of Yondo, or the city of Yondo. City is an appropriate name. There's a quieter night, probably the middle of the line or so, where many of the sailors just gather around, as you can hear music start to echo through the entire ship. The first mate explains it's a lieutenant's ritual. Middle of each line, she will play music like this. Just calming, peaceful, and relaxing.
Snozboop would like to assist in this endeavor.
Okay, give me a performance check.
$13.
13. Okay. It's still good music.
You're muted, Ethan.
Do you believe in friendship?
I do believe in friendship the most.
13's still good. You can keep pace and you can keep up. It's not music you're familiar with. That's probably what's putting you off on this. It's not a piece you've ever heard before. Easily music coming from the other side of the world. Will you join in? There's a soft glow behind Schnozboop as he's playing this. And you can almost see the translucent figure of another halfling, or another gnome, not halfling, excuse me, begin playing their own violin. For Schnozboop, it would be a familiar face. For the rest of you, though, I think you've seen this once before. But Liam's assisting Schnozboop with his performance. And surprisingly, the crew around do not respond in a shocked fade or a shocked way by seeing this translucent figure. They're more awestruck and getting more into the vibes. That will be the peaceful nights before arriving into Yondo. Where we're going to finish for the night, though, is leveling up. We're getting to level 7.
Ah, already?
Already. Yeah. You guys are diving into situations where I need you to be higher levels. Yondo is designed for a level 13 right now, so you're going into really dangerous territory. You got to get higher levels.
Plus, we did a bunch of cool stuff back
You did a bunch of cool stuff. I mean, you've gotten a whole lot of lore. We have reached a lore point.
Do we want to roll?
Yeah.
Health while we're
gonna roll health while we're still on. We're gonna start with Schnozzbeep. Wrong, it's the wrong way. There we go.
Okay, healthing.
Remembering that if you don't like the roll, well, first off, ones are bull. We don't like ones. Always re-roll those. If you don't like the roll, you can roll again, but you got to subtract 1 from your roll. The new one.
I'm gonna go with the 8, my maximum, that I rolled on the first try.
Heck yeah. Excellent. Good. Ortian! Oh, what level did you take, Snowsbeep? What'd you go into?
That's a good question. I actually have been considering potentially multi-classing.
I don't know if you want to dabble in Warlock, but there is a chance of dabbling in Warlock for Snowsbeep right now.
Yeah.
You can give it some thought.
I like the purity of just going straight as the one thing.
Yeah, it's true. And Bard of Eloquence does get quite strong. That's not
lore.
Eloquence, your lore. Yeah, Eloquence is the other one we're thinking of, but...
Yeah.
Bard of Lore can come in handy.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Bard, I think, for this one.
Nice. Okay.
Not quite where I want to be yet.
Yeah. We'll tease aspects of Warlock in the future if you to make it more of an obvious viable option. You've got Philemon tied into you now.
Okay. Cool.
Those energies merit Warlock contracts of sorts. Altian.
Second roll, rolled a 7, so I have 6 additional HP, so now I'm at 57. I am deciding as we speak. I'm checking out what the difference is between like what I'm gonna get if I do one more in Artificer. But I just don't know if I want to yet. We're gonna see.
Where are you at in Artificer?
Just level 1, so I'd be level 2.
Do you not have magical infusions yet?
Nope.
I think you get infusions at 2. That's definitely worth checking. Yeah. Infusions are really strong things. It might be worth it. Yeah, take the week and look into that. The HP is more important so I can get the center things reconfigured.
Yeah.
And redone. Taffy.
So I have a question. So you know how you said one's a bull?
Yeah.
My HP die is a D10. Can I assume that zeros are also bull?
0 is 10. That's the maximum number you can roll.
Just kidding, then. In which case, fantastic.
There you go. You rolled max. Good job. You took another level in fighter, I presume?
I mean, I guess. It's the only thing I'm doing, and it looks like you've pre-filled the Gene Warrior class on D&D Beyond.
Yeah, it is completely built in there, so...
So now
cool.
I can, change my body to, like, have wings or a snout or whatever.
That's right. You've got better body modification now. Oh, boy. Oh, you're cutting out internet. Well, the internet's being evil. BT.
So the first roll was a 1.
Oh.
So I ignored that. And the second roll was a 5.
Nice. Okay. Middling it out.
Luckily, I have toughness as well, so.
Yeah. Oh gosh, we're getting
Ooh,
some...
man, guys. It's in between infusions or expertise. Expertise is so good, though. It's so good.
I do love expertise. I do.
That's a tricky choice. That is a tricky choice.
But if I go with infusions, I'll go with enhanced defense, so I get a +1 to AC.
Which you could also actually infuse onto other people as well. So keep in mind your infusions don't have to be on yourself. They could be on other people if desired.
The magic weapon grants
believe in
a
friendship.
returning weapon is a +1 to attack, and it's a returning weapon. So hey,
Have you seen the ammo one?
yeah, the repeating shot. Is that what you mean?
Never have to reload. Isn't that such a beautiful infusion? Well, there we go.
We shall see, guys. We shall see.
We have leveled up. We will get ourselves to the morning time, where you will be ushered to meet the captain, who has been genuinely preoccupied this whole time, and will actually be played by Ben next week. He will be taking on the role of the captain of the ship during the time of adventuring the archipelago. We met with him as he's preparing a ship or a smaller vessel to ride onto shore. The thing you will see, a lot of ships, many of which are half sunk, and absolutely no souls present in the ship, in the dockyard. That's where we'll finish. We'll come back to this next week. Thanks everyone for joining us. Who are we raiding today?
Who are we raiding?
Let's carry on the raid love. Who's going?
Inkfe is going. So is D20 Deathmatch.
Calm Little Buddy's on right now.
Calm Little Buddy is on right now. It's birthday bash too. Let's go say hi to Calm Little Buddy. We haven't raided them for a while. Did Inkfe yesterday. And Grouch Couch was last week. We've done April recently as well. Yeah, let's do Calm Little Buddy. Nice. Excellent. Good stuff. Wild Heist. Let's start there. That was fun. Thanks, Schnozboop. We will see all of you on Tuesday for some shenanigans in Power World, where we are making and eating friends. But until then, thank you everyone for being here. We love you very much. Hope you had a hoot. And we'll see you next Sunday. Bye.
Bye.
Come on.
May have closed for now. We hope you met a friend this go around. Tired and blurry you may be. We hope your minds are full from this revelry. Peace follow you out. May you return for more giggles